Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
The Red Sox dropped their second game in a row yesterday, losing 6-0 to the Chicago Cubs. Sox get back at it today at 2:20 at Wrigley, trying to salvage one game in the series. Garrett Crochet will be on the mound. The Patriots opened training camp on Wednesday. Ahead of that, the team placed 7 players on PUP and NFI yesterday, including Austin Hooper, Vidarian Lowe, Jelani Tavai, and Carlton Davis. And then this morning, the Patriots, according to Ian Rappaport, are signing former Rams defensive tackle David Olajiga, a native of England. He joins the team as an international player pathway player. In the NBA, former Celtics guard Marcus Smart is reportedly signing a 2-year, $11 million deal with the Los Angeles Lakers. Smart was bought out by the Washington Wizards yesterday. And in the WNBA All-Star game yesterday, Team Collier beat Team Clark 151-131. Nafisha Collier was named the MVP. And at the Open, final day of play is underway. And at the top of the leaderboard, it is still Scotty Scheffler at 15 under. He has a 5-stroke lead currently on the third hole. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Veterinary Urgent Care Center with 8 locations in Massachusetts and Rhode Island. VUCC offers compassionate, convenient, high-quality care 7 days a week. Walk in or book an appointment at veturgentcare.com. Veterinary Urgent Care Center, urgent care for your pet's urgent needs. I'm Alex Barth on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 11 o'clock.
Boston's best sports talk. There's an app for that. Download the Sports Hub app for loads of stuff. Absolutely free. Connect with the shows, get podcasts, and more. Get it where you get your apps. Or at 985sportshub.com.
Well, it's some Joe show.
We've seen it. Nobody wants to be there.
It's a big bad show tonight.
Just can't take this damn parade. Who cares?
Yeah, it's a
Joe
show.
There's a 2-mile wait to get past the damn green line.
Turn on them lights.
Anyone who gets hit by a bear in the neighborhood, call Joe Murray.
I happen to trust Joe Murray. First time I ever met Joe Murray was...
All right, well, happy Sunday morning to you on 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. We got a staff here today. I don't want to bury the lead, but our very own from 98.5thesportshub.com, from the Sunday NFL Kickoff Show, if that's the name of it.
Sports Hub Sunday Kickoff.
Boom.
Almost.
The podcast, soon to be with David Andrews.
That's right.
Now, night show host fill-in. And, of course, Sharon Mass? I didn't want to say Walpole. Sharon's own Alex Barth is here on a Sunday. Hello, Alex.
What's up, Joe?
It's good to be here. I know you're here because camp opens up this week. I wonder if that was calculated by the staff.
Probably part of it. Well, I generally don't. I'll fill in a little bit during camp, but the priority is obviously camp. So I like that I get these shifts in now because August is also prime fill-in territory, and I love being on the air. But obviously camp is camp, and that comes first. So this is my no, that's not true. I think I'm in with you on. Are you in on Tuesday on Zolak and Bertrand?
I am.
All right, so I'm in with you on Tuesday.
Right,
That'll
so
be my last
Tuesday.
show before camp. Yeah, I
so
think that's the plan right now.
Zoe?
I believe that's the plan. Last I was told.
That should be fun.
That'll be good. We're going to talk some ball on Tuesday. We're going to talk some ball for the next 4 hours here. We're going to talk some ball on Tuesday.
All right. Also with us today is a man named Jeff Williams, who hails from Lawrence, Massachusetts. Worked at the radio station I started at as well, 1510 The Zone, which I shared a photo yesterday, Jeff, of Joe Murray from 2010. And from doing a remote at the Baseball Tavern with Mike Riley, not the Sarge yet, and I forget who else we were with, but and Bob Hilberg, who did the Total Patriots book. But someone shared that yesterday, and I went, holy smokes, the 15-10 remote day. So Jeff Williams, Bruins fan, trying to put you over here. Here every Sunday on 98.5. Father, am I missing anything here?
The rejoined bed extraordinaire.
Yes.
That's going to be like on my tombstone.
Works Sundays at 98.5 The Sports Hub. Sometimes still hungover? Or
No, not hungover.
You're not hungover. So
No, I don't drink.
living off the high
Yes,
of the previous
you worded
night?
that correctly.
Well, we're here on a Sunday, everyone. Feel free to join us. 617-779-0985. We're on YouTube as well, so I like to follow the YouTube. Have you noticed the YouTube at night is a support group?
A little bit. There's a couple people in there that they set up shop. They're like doing their own show in the comments.
But I like it because I think that they are. Hey, it's a Friday night. Let's see what's going on the show and let's see who's in there.
Yeah.
So I do feel like it's like a clubhouse, kind of like a hang. So Phil, you can hang out with us today.
So they were disappointed so I filled in for you Monday this week, and there were a bunch of people disappointed. I think that you weren't in. I know in the chat they're like, oh, it's the summer when Barth is here. Where's Joe? But then I think by Friday night I'd won them over because they seem to be enjoying it. So,
well, that happens to me when I fill in on Felger and Maz, and they realize that Felger or Maz aren't there, or Jim, and then it's me, and they're like, Joe's here today. It happens. Tomorrow I'll be on with Zolak, so no Beetle, no McCone. I think Perlo's in.
Okay.
How you doing?
I'm good. Joy, I feel like right before back to school. For me, it's not really a break. I mean, I'm still working, but it's definitely a little quieter these 5 weeks between the draft. Even OTAs isn't that bad, especially with the Celtics out early this year because I cover them as long as they go, which is more involved. So it does feel like the last weekend before school's back in. But maybe more like going back to college because you look forward to that. It's not like going back to when you're in middle school, So I'm excited and I like it, but there's also this all right, it's going to be back to the grind. It's going to be a lot of long hours ahead and things like that. But I enjoy it.
Interesting you say that because summer is almost, it's not for most people it's over, but this week camp starts. Yep. You're going to be in Foxborough every day, writing here and
yep.
And doing probably roster breakdowns and projections.
We'll get into it. Yeah, so I usually do one roster projection after. Well, I used to do one after each preseason game, and now they don't have that early one. So now it's one after the in-stadium practice and then one after each preseason game. So we'll have a little bit of time before the first roster projection, but yeah, we'll be getting into it. The first week of camp is kind of anticlimactic, I always find. Because there's this big buildup, it's training camp, football's back, who's going to, here's all the position battles, who's going to win, who's going to lose, who's going to be starting, blah, 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 this and that. And then you remember that the first four practices are not in pads. So you basically spend the first 4 days saying, all right, I know we were all excited about that, especially this year with the offensive line and all the questions, right? You spend the week hyping up camp, and it is exciting. It's absolutely exciting. But then the first 4 days are like, okay, well, we haven't really learned anything yet because these aren't padded practices. I was saying this the other night, Joe. Will Campbell could get beat by Keon White every single snap. Or he could stonewall Keon White the entire practice, the first day out. I'm not going to put a ton of weight in it either way because it's non-padded. It's not real football. He could have a great first 4 days. If that first day in pads, he gets beat like a drum, I don't want to hear people saying, well, he had a good start. It was just a rough day. They're weighted differently, right? The different practices are weighted differently, non-padded, padded, joint practices. So it's funny because you have this whole buildup and everybody gets excited, and then it's like, all right, no, we actually have to wait a little longer for the real thing.
I want to get into something on urgency coming up in a little bit here, but
okay.
I do think that the leadoff story this morning for anybody that is just kind of kicking in and was away or at the beach or just doing anything on a Saturday, I do think that the leadoff story today is Stefon Diggs not on the PUP or NFI list. and the ACL, and Mike Reese posted this yesterday, but it suggests his recovery from the torn ACL is progressing and on track to start potentially day one of training camp. I know Chad Graff posted something. Albert Breer mentioned something about that. There is a lot of discussions about this guy. We're not talking about the physical anymore, right? Or getting cut. So that's over now.
Right.
He could be ready week one. I think that's a big storyline.
Him not being, so he would have been on PUP between the two if he was on, because it's a football injury. Him not being on there, I think, is a pretty significant development, just because he looked so good in the spring and so far ahead of where we thought he'd be in the spring. Now, he clearly wasn't 100%. And I wrote about this a little bit yesterday afternoon on 98.5thesportshub.com if you want to check it out. See, this is what I mean, back to school. Beautiful Saturday afternoon. I did get some golfing, but I went home and had to work. He was still a little limited in the spring in that he wasn't taking part in the team drills, like the full speed team. So that would be the next step. Now, that was almost 2 months ago. And so, okay, if he can check that box, that's kind of the last hurdle. Once you're cleared for contact, and obviously those drills are non-contact, but things happen, so you need to be cleared for contact to be involved in that. Once you're cleared for contact, I mean, you're good to go. So I kind of scoffed. Remember when he first signed, Schefter was like, his agent says he expects to be ready week one?
Yeah.
I kind of scoffed at that. It's like, yeah, okay. He signed the contract. Everybody's feeling good about themselves. Let's relax. You know, you're talking about the time frame. I mean, the gold standard is Adrian Peterson, and was that 2009? Or no, 2012.
What was the time on that?
It's like 6 months.
Because Bourne was Halloween the year before.
So
and came back,
Bourne was a little over 11 months,
okay.
And Bourne was same timeline as Diggs ACL. I mentioned Peterson as the apex because Peterson tore his ACL is either the last game or second to last game of the year, and then came back week one the next season and won MVP. Which we don't talk about that nearly enough. Think about that. This was 10 years ago when that was a much more significant injury. It was a year minimum. I found it right here. So he tore his ACL on December 24th. It was week 16, second last game of the year. Starts week one, 8 months after tearing his ACL and MCL, and goes on to win MVP. Ridiculous. So I'm not expecting that for Diggs, but tore it in October. He'd be back in September, but he'd really be back for practice. That's the beautiful thing about this is I think some of the question was, even if he's in theory physically ready for week one, it's how much sooner than week one is he going to be ready, because you can't just, even if he's good to go, right? All right, you're cleared for contact on September 1st. If he hasn't caught any passes from Drake Maye, if he hasn't practiced with the offense, if he hasn't worked on the timing, you can't really throw him out there. That's sort of what happened with Kendrick Bourne last year. Was he was football ready, like he was medically healthy week one, but he wasn't football ready, so they left him on PUP to give him those first 4 weeks. If Diggs can be at camp and have the full buildup, then he'll be ready for week one, and that's what's the factor here. Kendrick Bourne could have gone out and played week one last year, it sounded like, but he wasn't in football shape because he wasn't able to take part in camp because he was still recovering during camp. If Diggs is already recovered and he can have a full camp, that's massive.
This could be another interesting thing maybe to write about, but was there any crossover from Adrian Peterson and Stefon Diggs in Minnesota?
Ooh, I don't believe so.
But the only reason why I bring it up is Diggs got hurt halfway through the NFL season.
Yeah.
When we see the workouts, he looks incredible.
There were 2 years of crossover.
Okay. So maybe we might have to do some digging.
Maybe there's a relationship there.
Exactly. And both are kind of freak athletes, right? Adrian Peterson in college, remember, he used to do the flips into the end zone. And there's no question that he's probably one of the greatest running backs of all time.
I don't think you need to say probably.
Despite some of the off-field stuff that, we can overlook.
No, this guy was a 1,000-yard rusher 11 years in his career. I mean, he was the rare running back still doing it at age 30.
Maybe there was a crop. Maybe there's something to it. Maybe we should look into it a little bit more. But it's the biggest news story, no doubt about it. And on the other side here, I just wanted to bring up him being ready. We always talk about, Alex, full disclaimer.
Yep.
I'm still down on the Patriots as far as win total and maybe some of the hype of making the playoffs. I'm not trying to put a wet blanket on a new season ahead. My take is that the team playing better and progressing, spending money on guys like Gonzalez, etc., and becoming an attractive destination, that's the number one key. It's not about the offense or the defense or making the play. I just think they need to become a destination again because people are saying no to them right now.
Yeah.
And I think the league sees that they don't spend money. But Diggs being ready to go, or at least not on a pup list, it shows urgency and all the hype about the focus is back and Vrabel's brought back, trying to win again. Winning games is important to the franchise.
Yeah.
And there's just an urgency. And I think that signing, but also getting Henderson ready to go before camp, I just think it shows some
Giving
urgency.
him the fully guaranteed contract, which was in doubt.
Yeah, let's get into that on the other side
Okay.
here. We'll break. We let it off there. The leadoff story today, we could do the Red Sox and all that.
Sure.
Stefon Diggs being available is a big story.
It's camp week, Joe. It's camp. It's football season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I also feel urgency. I didn't feel this way last year.
No.
They started late. They were like, you know what? Let's not work extra week. Let's just do 1 week instead of 2 weeks.
I have a question for you. You can answer on the other side. Did you watch Forged in Foxborough yet?
Did not. I'm going to try to get to it.
Well, because I think your urgency take ties into that a little bit.
Let's do it. We'll get into that coming up here on the other side. We're leading off. It's back to training camp here on 98.5 The Sports.
You're listening to Joe. Murray on 90.
This was one of my favorite Deftones songs.
So good.
I think I told you about Summer Sanitarium. Might have been, I can't remember what year it was.
03.
03, okay, because Saint Anger came out. And this was Gillette Stadium. Alex, you'll appreciate this.
Yeah.
Metallica was coming back. This was after Hetfield went to rehab, and they came out with a kind of a poor album in Saint Anger. But they were doing Summer Sanitarium, and they brought a bunch of bands to Gillette Stadium. And Deftones was one of them. But that school is called Back to School.
Yeah.
You know, as we're talking about getting back.
That's right.
But that song they played, man, and like I was in. That was a hell of a show. And believe it or not, my favorite was Limp Bizkit. I never saw Fred Durst live. I couldn't believe how short he was. I was like kind of shocked. Like
he's not a big guy, right?
No, but dude, when I tell you, when you hear boom, 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 live,
Dude, I saw them last summer. It was awesome.
and dude, like all of a sudden, like I became TRL Joe. All of a sudden, I'm like, I did it all for the nookie. It was, and then boom, boom, or like break stuff.
Yeah.
It's just imagine hit after hit after hit of Limp Bizkit at a concert.
I feel like that's got to be a fun show. I've never seen them, but I have to imagine that's a fun show.
Yeah, it was them. Stained was there. There was a lot of like.
This was at.
Yeah, Gillette. This is when it all.
Okay.
It might have been when they started first hosting concerts.
Okay.
Because 02 was they won the championship, and Ozzy did Crazy Train live.
That's right. I remember that.
I was there for that.
So that I remember.
Awesome.
I remember seeing it on TV. I wasn't there, but I remember.
Yeah,
that.
and then they played that season, and then so it would have been summer of 2003.
Okay,
it was the hottest day. I remember they were spraying us with hoses in the front, like in the stands, because it was so hot. But Jeff bringing in the old back to school. Alex Barth is here at 98.5thesportshub.com. He's got all your training camp thoughts. He even wrote an article last night about some training camp thoughts. We mentioned that I think the biggest story, at least, is Stefon Diggs is on pace to be ready for camp and potentially week 1. We brought up Adrian Peterson coming back from an ACL injury and came back for week 1. Mike from Woburn checking in. Rod Woodson tore his ACL in week 1 of the 95 season, made it back to the Super Bowl.
Wow. That's pretty impressive.
And I'm reading it here. Reddit has a pretty big write-up saying that it's one of the biggest stories. I don't know how he played in that Super Bowl. I'd have to think back.
Right, that's the thing. It's not. It's with Peterson. It's no disrespect to Rod Woodson, like you said. I can't recall off the top of my head how he played in that Super Bowl, but it's not that Peterson came back in 8 months. He came back in 8 months and won the MVP. He was the best player in the league 8 months after tearing both his ACL and MCL. That was the year he almost broke the rushing record. What was he? 8 yards short, right? Ran for 2,097 yards. Just insane stuff.
Now I'm going down the rabbit hole of
the
people.
ACL tear rabbit hole.
Well, you mentioned gold standard. May I bring up Tom Brady and how in I guess 2007 was their season that they went undefeated in the regular season. He got hurt in 08.
He got hurt the next year.
09
So that's the thing for a lot of these guys, and this will be something we'll watch with Diggs this year. You hear a lot of players say this, like you miss the ACLs, you miss a year, you come back, but that first year back, you're still not 100%. It's really 2 years removed, which is also something we'll be watching with Kendrick Bourne. So that was the case with Brady. Brady came back. He was fine in 09.
Threw for 4,300 yards.
Right, he wasn't bad, but
touchdowns.
it was. And then didn't he win the MVP in 2010, or was that 2011?
He won Comeback Player of the Year, Pro Bowl, but they lost to the Ravens.
That was the year the Ravens blew their doors off at Gillette.
That was the Ray Rice game, I believe.
But I think he won it. Yeah, so in 09, he was good, but it was a feeling out process. He comes back, he wins the MVP in 2010, 2 years removed from the ACL. That's the way it often works. And again, with Peterson, it was 8 months off of it. He won an MVP.
Looking at it here, that 09 year, he played through multiple injuries at a sports hernia as well, with 3 broken ribs and a broken right finger.
They don't make him like Tom Brady anymore.
So he had a broken right ring finger on his hand.
I remember that. I wonder if they put the pin in it Bledsoe style.
Oh, and that's when I'll never forget this, but they had to do it for Bledsoe. But I'm pretty sure Zoe started the game and beat the 49ers. I'll have to go back.
I thought it was the Vikings game that Bledsoe. He probably had it for multiple games.
Bledsoe
He had the pin.
threw 70 passes against the Vikings.
Right? Was that? Maybe that wasn't also with the thumb. I was like 3 years old. I don't.
No,
remember.
I want to say it was against the 49ers that I think Zoe had the one came in, but they did. But Bledsoe was back like a week later, dude, or maybe even 2 weeks later.
He played with the pin against the Rams.
Okay.
So I know what you're talking about. I think that was a different game that Bledsoe was hurt and Zoe started.
Yeah, it had to be probably like late 90s or somewhere in there.
I don't think that was the pin in the finger game though.
The old pin in the finger, everybody. I mentioned urgency. You brought up Forged in Foxborough. What have you seen? And just to recap, some second-round picks haven't been signed, or at least it's come down to camp, and Trayvon Henderson was one of them. For those who don't know, Trayvon Henderson was a highly decorated college football player at Ohio State. Had an injury. What was his injury in college?
He had a couple. He didn't have like one big injury.
Okay,
he
it was like an ACL or
no. He would
Achilles
just get banged up. He was not a lead back. That was the big knock on him, was that he wasn't a volume back. And then they go out. Ohio State does last year. They get Quinshon Judkins in the transfer portal. So now the touches per game for Henderson go down. I think he ended up at like 11, 12 touches a game. But he was averaging like 10 yards per touch. Because when you keep him fresh, he's incredibly explosive, which the Patriots should be able to replicate that with him and Ramondre Stevenson.
Yeah,
that's why sorry to cut you off. That's why the people who think like Ramondre Stevenson's job's in jeopardy or whatever because of Trayvon Henderson, not the case.
I don't either. Just to add on that Judkins thing, I believe it was Chip Kelly that went to Henderson and said, "Hey, listen, we have a chance to bring in Judkins."
Yeah.
Where did he go to school before? I remember.
Ole Miss.
Oh, and he was a stud, right?
He was awesome. He was. I thought he was going to be running back one in the draft. Shame on me for doubting Ashton Genty. I thought he was going to be the top running back in the draft last year.
But they went to Henderson because they liked it. They knew that their success rode on him, really.
Well, so the thing about Trayvon Henderson, the background, he was the 11th ranked recruit in his class coming out of high school. He was a massive get for Ohio State, 5-star player. Started as a freshman, which is incredibly rare there. I have to double-check the exact fact, but I believe he was the first true freshman to start the season opener for Ohio State since Patriots legend Andy Katzenmoyer, if I remember that correctly. I'll double-check that.
Yeah, because there's a lineage of wide receivers, or at least freshmen. There was always a thing in college sports where freshmen didn't play right away. Yeah. Now it's different. When you're the top recruit, you are basically catered to being the star, or at least being fed. But I thought that was a pretty interesting storyline of the Ohio State season. Was obviously the coach was against the wall. Chip Kelly was coming in, and they wanted to really protect their running back core because they had an elite wide receiver group. And well, you saw in the national championship game, he took a screen pass.
Yeah.
What was that, like 80 yards? I don't even know what it was.
I think it was like 65, but he caught it like 15 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
I got that stat wrong. It was not Trayvon Henderson. Denzel Burke was the first true freshman to start on defense for Ohio State since Andy Katzenmoyer. Had nothing to do with Trayvon Henderson.
The urgency, though. They got the Henderson deal done. It looks like Diggs is ready to go, at least for camp.
Yeah.
I'm feeling the urgency as we're serious now.
So again, if you watch Forged in Foxborough, which people should watch, I've seen some people say it doesn't live up to the first one. It's a different time in the offseason. OTAs and minicamp are just not as sexy as the draft and free agency. You have to, if you go in understanding that, it's more just nuts and bolts football. So I liked it, but you can just see, if you remember back to where they were at this time last year and then hearing some of the conversations the coaches were having in the spring, it just feels like they're more ahead of schedule. Now, last year isn't exactly the be-all, end-all bar to clear. I understand that. But it is good that they're ahead of where they were last year. And it's not like by a little bit. It feels like they're ahead by a good amount of where they were last year.
Things are different.
It's more business-like, if that makes sense.
So this offseason, we saw Drake Maye work out with wide receivers and skill guys. Vrabel, when you watch the first Forged in Foxborough, he set an expectation this year of what's expected, right? Just this is what's expected. This is what we're looking to do. I think he's spoken about some guys, in particular, Ramondre Stevenson, who obviously has some fumble issues, but he said some things regarding him as, it wasn't just you fumbling the ball. There might have been a guy here who missed a block, which might have led to this. And I just think that there are some guys that are good players that might need a little bit of a, hey, we believe in you. We don't think it was all you. And it's just kind of restoring that there are good players on the Patriots. Like, despite their record last year and even the year before, there were winnable games. Coaching was a problem, but it was also the guys that were playing might have not have been the best in the position, and it hurts guys when the other team isn't performing.
That's it, Joe. They weren't always putting their players in position to succeed. Do you remember? I was watching some stuff from last year, earlier this week, just to get ready for camp. The game in Buffalo, when they throw that screen pass to Ramondre Stevenson, like backed up on their own goal line, and he gets blown up, and it's a fumble, and the Bills score.
Everyone, it looked bad on Stevenson. But
it did,
bad,
and
bad call play.
Right, he wasn't. It's not that he did nothing wrong there, but not only was it a bad called play, you go and you watch DeMontre Jacobs on that play, completely blows the block, like completely whiffs on the block, which is why, like, Stevenson's supposed to catch that ball clean. That's a very quick pass. He's not expecting to have a defender in his face at that point. So Ramondre Stevenson might be the chief example of a player that they were not putting in a good position who's better than what his statistics suggest. Last year, what was it, 4 or 5 games into the season, he led the league in touches. And that was after he was top 10 in touches the year before. Unless you were Derrick Henry, the 300-touch player is not sustainable in the NFL. The Niners have been trying to make it work with Christian McCaffrey for 2 or 3 years now, and it doesn't. It's to what I said about Trayvon Henderson. You are going to, and Stevenson's more, he can take more contact than Henderson, but you're going to get more out of giving him 220 to 230 touches than you are at a 300. But because they didn't trust any of their other running backs, they should have trusted Antonio Gibson more last year, but they didn't. They were force-feeding him the ball because he was really their only playmaker on offense, and it ran the touch count up, and then you get to the end of the year, and he's run down, he's hurt, he's banged up, and it impacted his play. 2 years ago, the fumble at the end of the game against the Bengals. So I think with Henderson here now, Stevenson's touch count's going to come down. It's going to mean he's healthier. It's going to mean he's able to contribute more, and then you're going to get more out of those snaps when he's not on the field because Trayvon Henderson is such a big play threat. People ask me who the RB1 is going to be for the Patriots. We know that doesn't really work with Josh McDaniels, right? I love how cognizant McDaniels is of not overworking his running backs. Who's going to get more snaps? Probably Stevenson. But you can look at RB1 another way. Who's on the field in the high leverage situations? 3rd down, 2-minute drill, red zone, not goal line, but red zone. That's probably going to be mostly if he can show up as a pass blocker in camp and do what he needs to do there. That's probably going to be Trayvon Henderson. That's kind of the role James White was in. So Stevenson's a great example of that, of a guy that is talented and I think gets way too much crap from the fans because they've put him in a bad position now for, I think, 3 years in a row. They've just run him into the ground, and you haven't gotten the best version of him. And less is more, I think, when it comes to running backs in this league. Between him, between Henderson, and then Gibson as well, and we'll see if Lane Larison makes the team. They have no excuse. That's a good running back room. They have no excuse to be overworking running backs this year.
One thing I want you to kind of look at when you're at camp. I think there's I think they're trying to improve their speed.
I would agree with that.
Like,
on offense specifically.
If you want to get better, right? I know the old line, hey, if you want fast guys, you got to draft fast guys. They've tried, right? I will say this, they failed. But they've tried to acquire faster guys.
No, like, look, roll your eyes at the line all you want. It's the NFL. Speed matters. You can't be slow. That's just now. So when I do the draft with Evan Lazar, right? Because he's into the analytics and all that, and he likes the guys that are burners. So my thing with him, whenever he really likes a prospect, Isaiah Bond was one this year. He really liked Isaiah Bond, and so I always ask him what he liked.
Where is he right now?
I don't remember. Did he even get drafted?
I don't think he's even drafted.
Because this was after Evan was like kind of took the cheese on Taekwon. So now my thing with him is I always ask, why do you like this prospect? He's fast. And I'll always ask him, fast and. You have to be able to finish that sentence. He's fast and. And so I think they brought in some guys. That's the thing. You want to get draft fast guys is a little oversimplified. Fast and. Like Trayvon Henderson's fast. And he sees the field very well. Okay. Like, so he has some and he does other things, but like, there's got to be some football skill on top of that. He's not just a track star. Jeff Demps didn't exactly last in this league, if you remember Jeff Demps. So when it comes to the Patriots and speed, or any team in speed, like, if you like a player, okay, well, he's so fast. And fast, and you got to be able to answer that question.
Yep. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah.
In my brain, I think that they're going to be better and improve because of their speed.
I think they got some guys. So to your point, I think they got some guys that are fast and. Pop Douglas, fast and very quick. Good route runner. Again, Trayvon Henderson, fast and smart football player. Not just fast, he's quick. There's a difference. Fast is straight line speed. Quick is like ability to change direction and not lose speed.
I think Diggs has a little of all of that.
Diggs is so we'll see coming off the ACL, right? Because it's always part of it. Stefon Diggs, I wouldn't call him one of the fastest receivers in the league at his peak. He might be the quickest wide receiver in the league.
He torched Christian Gonzalez last year. I mean, torched.
Well, remember what he used to do to J.C. Jackson.
That's right. Oh boy, J.C. Jackson still has nightmares.
Yeah,
of one Stefon Diggs.
And that was when J.C. Jackson he won All Pro that season.
That's right. All right, you guys have heard from us. Let's hear from you. Let's start with Jay in Malden. Jay, what's up, bud?
Hey, how's it going, fellas? I just wanted to get Alex's predictions or thoughts on the home opener against Las Vegas with Ashton Jinty, their electrifying rookie running back. I see him going for over 120 yards very easily in that home opener. I just wanted what Alex thinks about that. And thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for the call. It's a good question. It's a little early. I will say, and we can get to the defense more if you want, Joe, in a bit. I do think the run defense is going to be a big question. One of the bigger questions I'm looking for come camp. Something we won't get a better look at till the pads come on. He might get to 120 on volume. I don't know how much that team's going to throw the ball, but really good first test for this run defense and this new defensive system. It's playing aggressive. It's the linebackers playing cleanup. Ashton Jinty does not go down at first contact. So we're going to see how well this defense swarms. It's a good test. Yeah, I would not be surprised if he has a big game. But again, he could also have a big game in part because of volume. He could have 120 yards, and that could be it, right? There could be something where he has 150, and the Raiders have 240 total. So he's going to be a good first test, but I don't think he can single-handedly beat the Patriots.
I got a take on that. We'll save it.
Okay.
And while we're thinking of that, I want you to come up with who you think your offensive and defensive MVPs will be this year. So we'll do that later in the show as well, and you can certainly call in on it at 617-779-0985. Randy's in Providence. What's up, Randy?
Hey, good morning, guys. How you doing this morning?
Morning.
Hey.
Great.
I wanted to call in just a couple thoughts on the Forged in Foxborough episode that Alex was talking about there. Before we get into that, before that though, Henderson being signed is good, especially kind of before it was forced, because there was a lot of talk about if picks after him sign the fully guaranteed, then he's going to have to, and I feel like they did it before they really kind of needed to, quote unquote. But that Forged in Foxborough episode was great. I thought the one line that really stuck out to me was there was a point where Vrabel was talking to a couple of the players. He's like, if you didn't think you were going to compete and get what you learned, then you came to the wrong team. Yes. And I think that really sets the tone well for the team. I think that a couple of the questions that I had personally about the off-season moves, I was a little bit worried about the OL coaching, and I thought that this episode really focused heavily on that.
Yes.
On the three guys and how they interact and how good it is for the line and so forth. Morgan Moses, every time I see that guy on tape, whether it's an interview, from his introductory press conference to every single time he's been in front of a microphone since, he's just the consummate veteran leader and brings a lot of knowledge and maybe not energy, but experience and kind of hope to that room, I feel like. And I feel like that it kind of an underrated impact might be on Onwenu, who he had a little bit of a down year last year, and I wonder if that was part of like I don't really know what's going on with this line sort of thing. And now it just felt like he was a little bit more involved and stuff like that. And maybe that's the way they shot the episode. But I do worry still about the wide receiver coach. I wonder what you guys feel about that. I felt like even in the episode, it almost looked like Diggs and Mac Hollins were like the de facto wide receiver coaches. I didn't see a whole lot of Todd Downey. And then just lastly, you guys were just talking about the Raiders there. I wonder what impact you guys think this is going to have on that game, specifically when it comes to Ashton Genty's performance. As far as I could tell, I was looking throughout his college history, he's only played in the Eastern time zone one time in his life that I could tell. And this is going to be his first NFL game, a 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Zone game for a kid that's spent all his life on the West Coast. And I mean, that time difference is a real thing.
Randy, let me add. Okay.
I hung up.
That's fine.
Sorry.
The Morgan Moses stuff, I just want to ask.
That was a very intelligent call.
That was great. He made a lot of good points. I know. I want to make sure I get to all of them.
That guy.
I could do.
He was prepared.
I could do an hour after everything he gives. And that Ashton Genty thing's wild. I hadn't even thought of that. I mean, the betting markets know as well as anybody. West Coast team coming east, right? That's one of those things you track.
It's not as bad as it used to be, but it's still something to monitor.
Well, for a guy, and he grew up in Texas, but yeah, for a guy that really hasn't been in the Eastern time zone, that's an interesting factor.
I wonder if they'll adjust for that. Pete Carroll
have him getting up earlier the week before. Yeah. I'm sure they'll do something. To his points, so the Vrabel quote he mentioned, I liked. There was a moment after that was actually really one of the standouts for me, where Jabril Peppers is breaking down the team. And he says, in order to take advantage of itty football, we have to get rid of that kind of football ourselves. And it just reminded me a lot of something Vrabel said in his introductory press conference, which was, we're not good enough right now to capitalize on bad football. And it's true. The Patriots were one of the worst teams last year in terms of capitalizing on other teams' mistakes, whether they had the third lowest rate of scoring drives off of opposing turnovers. They didn't do well on capitalizing off penalties. They made too many mistakes of their own. Turnover followed by a turnover, penalty followed by a penalty, things like that. And Joe, with their schedule this year, if they can simply take advantage of bad football, if that's the baseline, that might get them to 6 or 7 wins. They're playing some really bad teams. If they can just not shoot themselves in the foot, even if the ceiling isn't great, if that's their floor, that could take them a long way. I love the stuff on the offensive line coaches. Doug Marrone's done this for a long time. Like, it's not surprising to see him kind of be all over it like that. Morgan Moses, it comes out of this. He's going to be a team captain. He comes out of this looking really well. The way he's working, not just with the offensive linemen, but with the defensive linemen. And then the wide receivers coach, Todd Downing. That is a fair concern. I think they did a lot of things right with this coaching staff. I have my questions about Todd Downing. Now, what I think Todd Downing will be good at as a former offense coordinator, people say Josh McDaniels' offense is complicated. I think it gets oversold how tough it is to learn, but it isn't exactly easy to learn either. And I think Todd Downing is going to do a good job of being able to teach the receivers the offense and install the concepts and make sure everybody's on the same page. But he's never coached receivers before. Most of his background is quarterbacks. He did a little with tight ends. What I worry about with Todd Downing is this guy running this route right? Is his release right? How's his footwork? How are his hands? Like the technique stuff. He's never coached wide receiver technique. That's not in his background. So when you have a lot of young receivers, that can be a concern. And that's something that they've struggled with coaching here for a long time. So that's where you see Diggs and Mac Hollins step up. And look, when you bring in a veteran like that, we were just talking about Adrian Peterson. Here's another example. Adrian Peterson, do you realize how long he stuck around the league? 2017, Saints and Cardinals. 2018 and 19, Washington. 2020, the Lions. 2021, the Titans and the Seahawks. He didn't stick around that long because people thought he could still be a 1,000-yard rusher. He stuck around because they wanted him as an influence in the room for their younger running backs, and he's like, if you'll pay me, sure. So it's not unheard of. Like, you expect the veterans in your room to kind of teach the younger guys, but you don't want them to be the point person. You don't want it to be primarily on them. And I worry technique-wise that might be what happens, because even if they had brought in an assistant wide receivers coach, a guy who had played, like they had Tyquan Underwood last year, right? If they had brought in somebody like that to work with Downing, that would make a lot of sense. Downing's going to install the scheme. He's going to make sure the playbook's mastered, all that. And this guy's going to work with them on the fundamentals. They don't have that guy. That's probably the big concern for me with the coaching staff.
All right. We'll continue this conversation. Also wanted to mention the Red Sox struggling out of the break, but they send their ace to the mound today. We'll get into that. The Patriots stuff. I got a lot of questions. When you were talking, I wrote down a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it was a good long question. I had to try to give a good long answer.
Let's get into more and whatever you guys would like to talk about today. Alex Barth here. I'm Joe Murray. Jeff Williams helping us out. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
right, back here on 98.5 The Sports. Well, we got a couple of minutes here. And Alex Barth just told me a story off the air that I really just, I kind of wish I was there. It involved golf, the chateau, and Hawaiian shirts. So, Jeff, I'm like,
That's a hell of a trifecta.
I'm like, here we go now, baby. I need to know more about this one. But yesterday was a heater, man. I did a card show in Woburn, and when I got to my car, I could smell the tar on the ground. You ever notice it's that hot?
I don't think it was that hot where I was, but
so and again, maybe it was because I was doing a lot of moving. So, when I'm moving and sweating in places I didn't know I could sweat, then it's just really hot. But you went golfing at a fine establishment. And the establishment is attached to...
It's not I guess it is attached, yeah.
To a very famous toasted ravioli spot. And you guys wore Hawaiian shirts.
So, I think I brought this up on the air before once. A buddy of mine from high school, Tyler, was like, hey, he texted a bunch of people back in the spring and was just like, hey, you want to form like a golf league, which is basically we all send him our scores whenever we play, and with the handicaps, he tracks it, in a spreadsheet, and so we'll see at the end of the summer, who wins this thing. But we have a couple times each year where we all get together and play, and yesterday was one of them. But like, he's super into this. It's fun. He's made it super fun. It's awesome. But he got us all like shirts for the tour, and they're like these like Hawaiian might be the wrong term. It looks like a GTA loading screen, if that makes more sense.
Yeah.
And so he brought them yesterday, so everybody wore theirs, and then afterwards, we went to the chateau, so we all walked it. Like, I think there were 12 of us. One guy didn't get a shirt, so he kind of stood out, and he was a big guy, like taller guy. Mm-hmm. So he looked like he was like our dad or something. But so we all walked into the chateau wearing these like beachy Hawaiian, matching beachy Hawaiian shirts with our names on the back.
To share a story, my buddy Hooch, he was with his buddy, and he was going to Gloucester. And I was like, oh, you coming? Then, oh, sure, I'll meet you guys. Sure. Like, what are you doing? And like, oh, we're going to go see some Allman Brothers cover band or whatever. And I'm like, oh, I got to go meet you, man. So, usually my summer wear is Hawaiian shirt and whatever. So when I picked him up, and his buddy was just kind of like, and I felt as though I was the one wearing the Hawaiian shirt. And I was wondering if, I was told that there's two reasons why people wear Hawaiian shirts. It's either one, one is you're a fat guy. The other is messaging, maybe there's some messaging in there.
We're also just comfortable, okay?
Okay, maybe it's comfortable. That's why I'm going to use comfortable as fat guy.
No, not even as a fact. Like, just they're comfortable. They breathe well. And
exactly.
Can unbutton them.
And the sweat too. Like you get a little air in there.
Yeah,
little pockets to get in there.
Even like I'm bigger than I used to be, but even like pre-pandemic, before I put on like the pandemic 20, right?
You're bigger than you used to be.
Yeah.
Well, as a compliment to you, sir.
Thank you.
I don't think so.
But even still, like I have a couple who I go to the beach a lot, right? That's what I wear to the beach.
Oh yeah,
because it's I unbutton it, it breathes well. I can,
Can I get a confession?
What?
For beach footwear.
Yeah. I've
made a turn.
What are you wearing to the beach now, Joe?
Footwear.
Are you a sneakers at the beach guy?
No.
Okay.
So I was always a slides guy.
Okay.
Always. Right? Because you just...
Easy.
Very easy. Especially when you're a large man. Then I went the Sperry route, but I don't want my Sperry's getting sandy.
No, it's a beach town. You wear those like if you're by the beach, but you don't wear those on the beach.
So now...
Yeah.
I was a hater. I'm still a hater on these, but at the beach...
Crocs.
Oh, baby. The Crocs. If you smell what the Crocs are cooking, I am a Croc daddy at the beach.
Croc daddy Joe.
The Croc daddy. I am a hypocrite. The hypocritical takes I have given for people who have worn Crocs over the years, but at the beach, baby. Oh.
So do you have Jibbitz?
I think I'll have to look those up.
Do you know what gibbets are?
I don't know.
So have you ever seen, my buddy's brother has these. They're like little, I don't know, you call them charms or whatever.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't have those. I always see the reason why I wear the Crocs is because I see kids wearing those gibbets that you're talking about.
Yeah, like these things, right?
Yep.
You can plug them in.
Yeah, I don't have those. I have size 16 giant black Crocs.
We got to get a 98.5 gibbet made for you to put in there. Yeah.
Who do we even have anyone to talk to about that anymore? I don't know.
You could find someone online to make that easily. Probably.
Somebody. Just somebody out there.
Get one of those.
Who loves us.
There's a Joe Show
just
logo,
make
right?
it. Yes.
Yeah, so because you can't have just one. You got to have more than one. So you got to have a 98.5 one, a Joe Show one, Pat Celtics, Red Sox, Bruins.
Yeah, I probably don't need the gibbets, but if someone made them, I'd rock it. Okay? But yes, the Croc has the only thing that downside of the Croc is the tan line. I have a very odd foot tan line.
Oh, is it like circles?
Not bad, but you would think that there'd be circles. No, it's more about where the cutoff is. So like when I take my foot off, the from like my top of my foot all the way to my toes is just completely bare.
I get that.
While the rest of it is all tan.
I mean, I wear the one, I forget what they're called, where like, not the slides, but you put your toe in, right? That have the thing for your big toe. So I have like the triangle tan on my foot.
Okay.
So any footwear you wear at the beach, you're going to get a weird tan.
When I played baseball, I used to wear a batting glove with my glove.
Yeah.
And when I'd go out and my hand would be bare, white, but the rest of my arm would be completely tan as possible.
So I'm more cognizant of it now. 2 years ago, I got a really bad golf glove tan. So one of my hands was bright white up to the wrist. The other hand was perfectly tan. It didn't look right. It looked unsettling.
I feel like we do like a Michael Jackson glove for that. I don't know why.
That's kind of what it is. I was like, how am I going to explain that? Golf.
But I will tell you this. I like pedicures. I'm a man. Listen, I got big feet, big boys. Like you could trip over these if I take my shoes off. Okay, I know we're late. I'm sorry, but the Croc has changed my life. And did you know? I didn't know this. Do you know you could put your Crocs in sport mode?
I saw a video of this of a dad doing it, and it was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
So I am not in sport mode like while I'm driving or like wearing, but I pop them in sport mode when I'm at the beach, baby. Just put that thing in sport mode. They don't fall off. You wash them out before you go back. Bing, bop, boom, 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 bop, bam! In on the Croc, baby. All right.
There you go.
I felt like that was a confession. I needed to confess that I wear Crocs.
As long as they're comfortable and you're enjoying it, I'm not going to judge.
You know what? I feel like that in the winter. It doesn't matter what you look like as long as it's warm.
Okay, don't wear Crocs in the winter, though.
No,
That's it. Yeah.
I'm going shoveling outside these Crocs, man.
We got to put them in sport mode if you do that.
That's true. No, you do. Yeah, you'll very much have to. All right, well, we're late. And Alex is going to tell you in a bit who the hour was sponsored by. We have more football. We have baseball that I did tease that I didn't get to. So we'll do that next here on the Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. On Joe Murray. For Boston sports fans, it's 98.5 The Sports Hub. Beasley Media Group Station.
Sports Hub headlines. Presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
The Red Sox dropped their second game in a row yesterday, losing 6-0 to the Chicago Cubs. Sox get back at it today at 2:20, trying to salvage one game in the series. Garrett Crochet will be on the mound. The Patriots open training camp on Wednesday. Ahead of that, the team placed 7 players on PUP and NFI yesterday, including Austin Hooper, Vidarian Lowe, Jelani Tavai, and Carlton Davis. This morning, the team signed former Rams defensive tackle David Olajiga, a native of England, as their international pathway player. In the NBA, former Celtics guard Marcus Smart is reportedly signing a 2-year, $11 million deal with the Los Angeles Lakers. Smart was bought out by the Washington Wizards yesterday. In the WNBA All-Star game last night, Team Collier beat Team Clark 151-131. One of the captains, Nafisha Collier, was named the game MVP. And at the British Open final day of play, Scottie Scheffler still with a comfortable lead. He is at 17 under. There are a group of players behind him, 5 players tied at 10 under, tied for second. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by the Lobster Lovers Weekend at the 99. Visit this Friday through Sunday and order their colossal or hot buttered lobster roll, and you'll get a free 3-course meal upgrade. You gotta love the nines. I'm Alex Barth on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 12 o'clock.
Here we go. Boom. I win. Kaboom. Yeah. It's a buddy.
We've got a passion for Boston sports.
Get angry.
98.5 The Sports Hub. Around here, we call them the Joe Murray pre-party. It's Felger and Maz afternoons right now. Joe Murray on the Sports Hub.
Part, though, because he says he's owned the cowboy boots for 12 years. So he's not... Is he embarrassed by the cowboy boots? If so, why'd you own them? Is he embarrassed by wearing them to the concert? Is he embarrassed that he enjoyed a country concert? Like, I'm curious which part of that is a confession.
I have never owned cowboy boots.
Neither have I. I've heard they're very uncomfortable.
Nor I wouldn't even know how to put them on. Do they have zippers on the side?
No, you just got to jam your foot right in those things.
Yeah, I have size 16 wide. How the hell am I going to get those big boys in there? For real. How am I going to fit? I'm not.
I got wide feet too, dude. I know.
I'm not doing this. I'm out.
Out on cowboy boots?
Yeah. And then how far do they go up your leg?
Well, I think it depends. Like, there's different styles.
Okay.
Right.
I don't know anything about cowboy boots. Literally, I don't know anything.
Because I don't own cowboy boots. I've never worn them, but from watching TV and going to different country concerts, like, it can, some they're not sneakers, right? They're going to come up kind of high, but some are probably mid-calf. There's ones that go up closer to the knee. I think it would depend.
Okay. Well, now I'm curious.
Just like snow boots, right? There's some snow boots that are lower. There's some that come a lot higher up. It's just personal preference.
I prefer a high top boot because also the snow won't get in your shoe.
Did you ever I remember when I was a kid, we used to, like, you'd put your sock on, then a Ziploc bag, and then put that in the boot.
When I went sledding,
dry. Yeah, that was always my trick. Now I just tuck my sweatpants into my sock.
I hate when snow gets inside your shoe. I actually have that moment when I'm like, the worst has happened. When it does.
So I have this every year where, like, I'm covering Patriot training camp, right? And there's always 1 or 2 rainy days. The snow inside the shoe doesn't bother me as much because I'm already cold and whatever. Get out of the car, step in a puddle, socks wet. All right, now I got this whole day I got to do with wet socks. I hate the rain in the shoe.
Out on wet socks, too.
Wet socks is an all-time.
Out. Lieutenant Dan.
That's a bad day.
Lieutenant Dan from Forrest Gump said the number one important thing was making sure you change your socks and not having wet feet. Didn't he say that? So I lived my life that way. I don't know. He was very influential on me. I watched Forrest Gump. Do you know last night I was kicking around the television? I got Forrest Gump and Titanic back to back.
Not bad.
Tell me that's not a night at the movies. And I'm sure there's people listening who's never seen it. Real quick, we're going to do a lot of football today, but Garrett Crochet will be on the mound today. The Red Sox had the Red Sox themselves and manager Alex Cora had a chance to adjust the pitching rotation to give Crochet some extra time, which I commend him.
I like that they did that as a smart move.
Do you think it was the right strategy to go with Giolito, then Bayo, And today you do have a guy that can end the 2-game losing streak. How do you feel about the approach? And the reason why I bring it up is he gave up home runs in the first inning in back-to-back games, which literally was the difference in every game. So I know the offense has only scored 1 run.
Yeah.
But I do look at the pitching and the way, like, Giolito's been bad his first start after the break. Like, I guess Bayo's been better at night, so I get why they did that. I guess I'm just questioning some of the things, not to mention not pinch hitting Connor Wong in a hitting situation.
Well, that's a bigger one. But to the point of the pitching rotation, if you want to give Crochet the extra time, which we both agree was the right idea, who else are you throwing? Right? Those are your next 2 best pitchers. So to me, it speaks to the bigger issue of where the rotation's at and the urgency from the deadline. You know who I really would have liked to see start one of those 2 games? Joe Ryan. And I know it's not this easy, but this is kind of a take I've always had on the deadline and deadlines as a whole. This is across all of sports. July 31st is not the beginning. It is the end. Especially when you're a team playing catch-up like the Red Sox are after the June they had. The earlier you strike, the more you get for your return. If they traded for a guy this week instead of July 28th, 29th, 30th, how many more starts are you getting? You're getting 2 or 3 more starts. That could make a huge difference. The playoff race could come down to a game or 2. You get 2 or 3 more starts out of a Joe Ryan because you struck earlier, that makes a big difference. Or if you go get a bat, and I think it's kind of understated how bad they need a right-handed bat in the middle of the lineup, you're going to get another 30 or 40 at-bats out of that guy over the course of 2 weeks. So I would have loved to see a guy like Joe Ryan start there. It just proves my point. The sooner they act, the more they get for the return. So I'd like to see them get aggressive with the deadline and make a move this week and not wait.
Urgency.
Yeah, urgency.
I think the Patriots are quietly showing urgency, or by their actions showing urgency. The Red Sox, let's see.
I remember I wrote in May a whole thing about how they were it was coming off. Remember when they got swept by they got swept by, I think it was the Orioles, and then they came out and they lost that afternoon game to the Brewers, and I wrote a whole thing about them lacking urgency, and they've lacked urgency at times this year. And it starts from the top, and I don't mean Cora. It includes Cora, but I mean the front office.
Yeah, if they win today and Crochet does well and whatever, that's what the ace does. He's
stopper.
And then they have an opportunity against, who's it? Not the Dodgers, the Phillies. So I just, things can change today with Crochet. They can change. If they lose and he has a bad outing, I think we see some urgency.
I would hope so.
You would hope that you would.
Either way, I'd hope we see some urgency, but you're right.
Yep. All right, our buddy Justin and Lynn's on the line. Hey, Justin.
Hey, Ralph and Joe. I just want to tell you, I'm a little concerned how this Patriots offense is going to Joe. I just didn't think they did enough for free agency. I just wanted your thoughts. That's just my opinion.
Hey, Justin.
I don't think they did enough in free agency.
Justin, real quick, can you tell Alex Barth about Monty's Pizza?
Monty's Pizza is good, Alex.
He loved it. Right. Thanks, Justin. Have you ever had Monty's Pizza?
I don't think I have.
It's in Lynn, Mass.
Okay.
It's actually Dave Portnoy's favorite pizza.
Is it? I'll try that. You got to remember you're talking to South Shore.
That's right.
Not up that neck
that's why
of the
I'm
woods
bringing it
as
up to you, though.
No, I'll take the recommendations, but I'm not as up in that neck of the woods as often.
I like Monty's.
Yeah.
Look, I know we'll get to the football take.
Yeah.
But Monty's is good. Hey Joe, what's your favorite pizza? Volo, Detroit style, Swampscott, Massachusetts. Volo, Volo.
Okay.
Go say hi to Tony and Pina and tell them Joe Murray sent you. It is the best. It is my favorite pizza. Go on.
So I'm more of a Town Spa guy.
Oh, I mean, I grew up on Town Spa.
Yeah.
And listen, you know how everyone's like, oh, South Shore Pizza. To me, Town Spa was like the what I would compare everything to.
That's the gold standard.
I almost said gold standard. Yeah. Did you know that Linwood and them are like family? They're like a
that makes sense.
Cousin.
It's a similar. I could see that.
Telling you, Burnt Edges down the street here.
I
tell you.
Oh, is that where you brought in from that one time? Yeah, that was good.
South Shore Bar Pizza.
Yeah.
In Waltham. We got to get him. He's close. When are you open, Tim? When are you open? Anyways, what was Justin's question about the Patriots?
Don't remember.
Hey, you know what? Your buddy TJ's on the line.
He is.
TJ, what's up, buddy?
What's up, guys? You guys are great. Appreciate you taking the call. I hit Barth with this question earlier, and so I was curious. I'm a big fantasy football guy. If you had to make Vegas odds for who's going to lead the Patriots in receptions, how would you make the odds? And then, let's go into the meta. Which lines would you take? Like, you're not taking Diggs at -200. Like, where would you place your ticket?
Okay, Diggs -200. Favorite?
So I don't think Diggs is the favorite. I think it's Hunter Henry.
I was going to go Diggs, Henry, Pop Douglas.
I think you have to put Trayvon Henderson up there, too, somewhere.
Okay.
So when James White under McDaniels, James White was first or second on the team in receptions. I think every year he was fully healthy but one. So you got to figure that kind of thing is coming back. I would honestly I think Pop's going to have more of that like Danny Amendola type role. But with Diggs, there's a health thing, too. I think Henry and the running back might be my top two favorites.
And Drake Maye loved throwing to the tight end last
If
year.
we're doing just receivers, I might make Pop the favorite because I wonder about Diggs' health.
If you're asking for actual odds, it's probably Henry is the favorite. That is probably your best option. You know, I know you mentioned Henderson. He's kind of a sneaky one. Mac Hollins really thrived in that Josh McDaniels offense. He's going to probably start on the other wide receiver.
You think so? I think they want Kyle Williams to be their starting
I think they want
X.
him too. It's just, does Mac know the routes better? You know. What about you, TJ?
So what I'm hearing is there might be, in this theoretical world of Patriots sportsbook receiver odds, there might be some value on a Mac Hollins plus 1,000.
There you go. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I love Kyle Williams. I think whatever the books will put his line at, I'll probably send a ticket.
All right, buddy. What was your other question?
No, that was it. I was asking who what the odds would be, and what tickets you guys would place.
Yeah, I've placed a few tickets already. And TJ, we're going to do this later. But who do you think the Patriots defensive MVP will be this year?
Milton Williams. I think he's going to get opportunities. He's got it, right? He's got to get opportunities everywhere with the contract and everything. It's got to be Milton. But also, I don't know, Christian Gonzalez is right up there. It's one of the two, right? Those two guys, they got to be minus odds.
TJ's a fantasy football guy, so it's kind of unfair to ask him about defense.
Oh, God. Sorry, TJ.
He knew that was coming.
Well, you know what, TJ? You should start your daily fantasy picks on prop bets, and I'll follow you. How about that?
I'm in a couple IDP leagues, but those you just got to find bad teams and take the linebacker because they rack up tackles.
Yes. We're going to do this later.
Yeah.
But that might be a little foreshadowing of my take on defensive MVP. We'll do that. I see guys lined up on the phones. We'll get to you guys. We got to take a quick break. Alex Barr's here. I'm Joe Murray. Get Jeff Williams back there. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub.
You're listening to Joe Murray on 90.
All right, back here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Alex Barth is here. Another Sunday confession here on our chat. And again, you can follow us on YouTube. And a fellow in here is asking multiple questions, but a man said, I think it's a man, Christopher McKeon, I've never worn a Hawaiian shirt in my 45 years of existence. That's another Sunday confession.
He hasn't lived.
I know.
What's your, because everybody has their favorite if you own them. What's your favorite Hawaiian shirt?
It's probably Tommy Bahama because there's some sort of silkness.
No, but like specifically.
Oh,
so like I have one that has like lobsters on it.
Oh.
I have a lobster one.
I love lobster.
It's, you know the shirt that Kramer wears in Seinfeld?
Yeah.
That is, it's that, but it's blue instead of white.
Okay. My favorite one is probably I wore it yesterday. It's pink with baby blue pineapples.
Nice. That's a good Hawaiian shirt.
I remember that one. That's a nice one.
Yes.
The YouTube channel of that one.
You know exactly.
But see, I'm right. You knew right away. Like, yes, there's that one you have. Like, there's that one you have that you know, like, that's the one.
It's like getting the nice shirt. Hey,
right.
Hey, you know, like.
We're going baby blue pineapple today. It's a baby blue pineapple kind of day.
Today's a baby blue pineapple kind of day.
That's right.
Even if they're upside down, don't think anything. I just love wearing the shirt. That's it. We have more calls as well. What do we do? Pizza recommendations, football, market basket, Red Sox. What do you think?
The market basket one, I'm curious because we haven't even talked about market basket, so this could go anywhere.
Bob's in Lawrence. Hey, Bob.
Hey, good call, Joe. How you doing, man?
Good, man.
So, 3 weeks away from the shiny new gleaming market kitchen market basket opening up on 114, right next to the original one in North Andover. I could not be any happier.
Yeah,
we got one right down the street.
I know
now.
exactly the one you're speaking of because Jeff is from there.
Yeah, he was just telling me. Yeah, we're neighbors, man.
Whoa,
we live in the same neighborhood.
Yeah,
you guys can coordinate hot takes together if you want.
If you hear a barking loud pit bull at night, that's mine. But no, man, because like you got one in Waltham that Fred Touchin never goes to for some reason. We got one in Haverhill.
Do you know that we can just take a right out of the parking lot, and it's
I know exactly.
Not even a half mile up the road.
It's where the Not Your Average Joe's is, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So there's a Not Your Average Joe's and a Joe's Bar and Grill right next to each other. Whoever designed
Jake
that,
and Joe's.
Jake and Joe's,
or Jake and Joe's, sorry,
is right there too.
Those two should not be next to each other.
No, there's Not Your Average Joe's, Jake and Joe's are in the same area.
Yep.
Right. It confuses me every time.
And then there's a Joe's American Bar and Grill.
That's right, but that one's not there.
There's a lot of Joe going on.
But they should be separated by a certain amount of distance.
I agree. Bob,
if you like takeout food, if you don't want to wait in line at a sub shop for a half hour, you can't go wrong.
Bob,
with one of those market cafes.
I was just going to say, I work nights. Okay. Do you know how many times I have why don't we just peek and see what's on the grab and go today at Market Basket? And usually it's the chicken fingers I go for because I can get the two sauces for 50 cents. And and then I've now dipped into empanadas and, certain little like dumplings. I got the little tuna sandwich special that they have with no lettuce for $2.99, which is outstanding. But I got to give Street Team Joe, who works here, some credit. He goes, "Have you ever had a steak and cheese sub from Market Basket?" And I said, "You know why I won't? Because I feel when someone orders a steak and cheese at Market Basket, the person who makes it turns their back to everybody and doesn't help. It's like they're so dedicated at making the steak and cheese that if I'm waiting in line, I might as well just leave." But the other night, I had my first steak and cheese from Market Basket.
It's good.
And I have to tell you, it's really solid.
The dedication comes through. You can taste it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Pilgrim wrap that they got there? It's turkey stuffing and cranberry sauce.
Oh, the gobbler.
Give me that. Give me a bag of Cape Cod chips and a little thing of Peggy Lawson cookies and a big seltzer, and I'm a happy camper.
I love the free Peggy Lawson cookie. Oh, thank you, Bob.
I will say, when it comes to the Thanksgiving sandwich, The Thanksgiving toasted at D'Angelo's. That's because that one has gravy too.
I know exactly. They put the gravy right on it. Oh,
So I usually get it to go. They don't put the gravy on it, which I like. They give it to you in a cup.
So you can put
So by
it
the time
on,
I get home, it's not soggy. That's my favorite. Like the Thanksgiving toasted. That's an elite sandwich.
Now that we're getting into the gobbler, I had one within probably the last 2 months.
So people judge me for getting that, like, not around Thanksgiving.
No,
around Thanksgiving's the last time I want it because I'm going to have an actual Thanksgiving meal. That's a year-round sandwich.
I think at times when you go to places, you should get something you normally don't eat regularly. For example, right, like the gobbler.
Yeah.
Like I eat a lot of chicken parm, right?
Yeah.
Or turkey and cheese or whatever it is. But if it's like, hey, I went to oh my God, Lambert's.
Yeah.
I love Lambert's.
Good spot.
Oh my God. But they make a Thanksgiving calzone.
I have had that. That is
with
good.
Cranberry sauce. Oh,
you get me hungry now, Joe. I picked up a sandwich on the way here. I'm going to try to hold out until 1 o'clock.
That one gives me like Darth Vader breathing. Okay, that thing's like a 10 out of 10, and no gravy needed, baby.
See, I like the gravy though. You don't need it, but I'd rather have it.
But and listen, I've been to a lot of Patriots games, and they have a great a la carte wing selection, and the salad bar looks great. I just don't eat salad, but it looks spectacular. And now they have soups and burritos.
Getting hungry now. Also, the pizza place down the street doesn't open until 2 o'clock on Wednesday.
It's very upsetting. Did they reach out to you?
No, I just Googled it.
It's upsetting.
There was this place when I lived in Brooklyn. It was called like 7 Subs or something. It wasn't even a store. There was like this yellow door on the side of the road that had a window in the door. And you just like went up to the window and ordered a sandwich. But they were only open 4 days a week, like 3 hours a day. Wow. But it was unbelievable. But I'd have to, and it was in the middle of the day. So it'd have to be a day I was working from home, which was pre-pandemic. So that was like never. And like you couldn't really park anywhere near there. You had to walk to it. I don't understand why it existed at all, but I'm glad it did.
Well, while we're on it, I would like to let everyone know that Kowloon is now has their mobile food truck available in their parking lot after 10 o'clock at night.
I'm due for a Kowloon trip. I'm overdue. It's been a while.
I think I am too.
Might need to figure something out.
The last time I went, I talk to Andy every day. Every day we talk. We do we talk wrestling, cards, whatever, life. But the other day I go, hey man, why don't you tell me about this mobile thing? Oh, well, yeah, we're open now. We get the truck after 10 o'clock. I go, so wait, I can just pull into the parking lot. He goes, yeah, you can just use the app too. And I'm like, what? So you could get Saugus wings at 11 o'clock at night and just pull up in the parking lot, walk up to the truck and leave.
That's great.
Now I'm
innovation.
How about Joe in West Virginia? Hi, Joe.
Good morning. I'll tell you, Bob out in Lawrence, living large. Good for him. I just wanted to, touch on one thing. Joe Murray.
Yo.
I'm going to go off script right now, Macho Man. It's Barth.
Yo.
And the man behind the glass, Jeff Williams. Not into a Slim Jim. Oh, yeah. That was my Randy Macho Man impression. Want to talk about the Boston Red Sox pitching staff currently?
You know what? I didn't mean to hang up on you, buddy, but that was a really poor.
I didn't realize he was doing the impression.
What did he say about you? You were like, yep.
He's like, don't mock Alex Barth. I don't know. I didn't think you were mocking me.
Why would I mock Alex?
That's why I was confused.
That was a poor Macho Man.
He's no Sean Silver. That's for sure.
Hey, listen, no one is.
Nobody. That's a high bar.
Nobody is. But like, I see the lust in your eyes.
Sean Silver could roll out of bed and top that one.
Sean Silver uses his hands too.
Yeah, there's like a visual, which he doesn't need to do. He's on the radio, but there's a visual component to it.
Oh, the cream always rises to the top. That was bad too. Mike is in Providence. Hey, Mike.
Hey, Joe, what's going on? It was nice to meet you yesterday at the card show.
You're the Mike in Providence that I met yesterday.
That would be me.
Where did you eat after the card show?
That's why I'm calling, buddy. You think I wasn't going to tell you where I ate?
Well, now I'm glad to know. Tell me.
So we drove like 5 minutes away to this pub called Brickyard, and they had unbelievable pizza. I got a buffalo chicken pizza. It was awesome.
I love Brickyard. It's in Woburn Center.
Yeah.
Right down the street.
Hey, Joe, they had, remember I was like, where can I get like a great steak and cheese egg roll? Sure enough, steak and cheese egg rolls on the menu. Got them. They were great too.
Dude, that downtown area is very good. Brickyard, I'm wish I gave you that recommendation, but they are, you picked a fantastic spot.
No, we know what we're doing, but listen, I had a question for you.
Yeah.
How often do you find yourself in Providence?
I stay at the Graduate. I go to the Boombox, but probably once or twice a year.
All right, listen, do yourself a favor. Follow Hotline Pizza. Hotline Pizza spelled out one word on Instagram.
Yep.
They are by far, in my opinion, the best pizza in the state, and they are Detroit-style pizza. It's going to knock your socks off if you ever remember to get it next time you're down here.
Hotline
Pizza.
Hotline.
Got it.
Joe, listen to this. They started making pizzas in their apartment during COVID, right? And you would have to drive to these people's apartment, pick them up, and you could only order through Instagram. Now they actually have a location on Broadway in Providence. You can go and pick it up. They still do online ordering, but it's a lot better of a system. I'm telling you, Joe, I didn't know you were a Detroit-style pizza guy. This is going to knock your socks off. I'm serious.
All right, well, maybe I'll go to a card show in Providence and get some Hotline.
There you go, buddy.
All right, man. Nice meeting you. Thanks for calling.
All right, you too. Later.
Cool. Met a lot of people yesterday, Alex, who even mentioned you. I didn't even tell anybody I was working with you. Just some guy comes up to me and goes, "You're working at the Sports Hub, huh?" And I'm like, "Yep." Because I'm there, sitting there.
Right.
It does say Joe Murray's media, on the thing. But
I mean, you're Joe Murray. People know who you are.
Yeah, but I work on the radio. Like, do you really know what my face looks like?
Well, we're on YouTube now. You do stuff on TV.
I know. I guess I'm just humble.
I think you're a pretty recognizable guy.
I guess so. My voice gives it away, too.
That, too, yeah.
I don't know how to whisper.
Also, the card show doesn't advertise like 98.5 The Sports Hub. Joe Murray will be here.
The guy Jeff's also a very humble guy.
Okay.
Maybe.
They should. If they don't, they should.
You're right. Next week, Polar Park.
That's a big one.
That is where the Worcester Red Sox play. And it's one of the biggest card shows in the state. And I will be there, all set up, ready to go, baby. I got a lot of Roman Anthony and a lot of Ceddanne Raffaello. Got behind those guys early on.
I got a card collecting thing for you. I don't know if you want to do it before or after the break.
Well, wait.
Do it after the break?
Yeah, we got more calls. I'll bang these out. We got Jake and Andover. Jake.
Hey, guys. Jump in 2-3 quick points real fast. Joe, it is a sin to wear Crocs. You got to go to church after that one.
Yep.
I recommend this, though. My cousin, about same build, he's like 6'2", a little over 3 bills. Have you ever tried the Hey Dudes at the beach?
They don't fit because my feet are too wide for Hey Dudes. I bought
You can get them custom ordered.
No, I'm not doing that.
He has a size 16.
Yeah, but I'm not custom ordering Hey Dudes.
I don't know. I would, just for the comfort and the support, and plus you don't look like you're a guy wearing Crocs, just a piece there.
Yeah, but you know what, though? If you're judging me at the beach, you judge me about my belly, not my feet.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with a big dude getting some sun, but if he's wearing, Crocs in sport mode, that's a little different,
Yeah, but, I don't want to... the rocks on the beach and the sand's hot.
Yeah. But...
You know what, Jake, have you ever had a pedicure in your life?
I was a hockey player, and I am sadly, yes, I had to do that because my feet were destroyed by skates.
Yes, so my feet are destroyed by cleats in grass and dirt. So, but you're not afraid to say that you enjoy a pedicure?
No, I've had, dude, that calf massage at the end, and you're sitting there just passing out in the chair. Yeah.
But just give the Crocs a chance, because I never would have given them a chance.
It's hard. I worked in the kitchen. All of my chefs wore them. I can't. I just can't. To me, it's
you can't get past it.
I can't get past it. I will. Yeah, no, that's a line I'm not willing to cross.
All right, 30 seconds. Give us your pizza and Bruins take.
So, quick thing. I live in New Jersey now, as you know. I'm sorry. This place called DeLuca's in New Jersey. I'm sorry, trashes everything in Mass and Providence. It's just not even New Jersey. It's converted me. I'm not even Italian, but it's converted me to, I think Portnoy gave it like a 9.82 when he came out here and did it. So it's not even close with the New York style. And then lastly, speaking of urgency, if you please can also get on a pedestal and start screaming at the Bruins, because I don't know if you noticed that free agency started like a month ago.
Yeah.
And we got two guys that basically just haven't done crap, and I guess we're going to tank for the year. I'm not too sure. Just kind of an angry man yelling at the clouds for Don Sweeney to actually make a trade. So there we go.
Retool exactly what they're doing. We got a lot going on Twitter today. You see the interactions. There's a lot of digital media stuff going on here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of interaction. All right, final one because we're against it. Chad's in the car. Chad.
Hey, what's up, Joe? How you doing?
Yo.
So my family used to own a deli. It's down in Sandwich. So I literally grew up in Sandwich making sandwiches.
Whereabouts? I know where Fisherman's View is and all that.
Yeah, so it's actually right by there. It's called The Deli.
I know exactly where.
5 minutes.
Yep, I know where. Yep. That's your family?
Yeah. It used to be. My dad sold it 5-6 years ago now.
I remember years ago, there's a trading post out there, right? Or around there? Pizza?
Yeah.
Yep.
So I, kind of like when you worked at McDonald's, I just made all these sandwich concoctions.
Oh, yeah.
And there's one I came up with. I called it the 5-way bypass. It was turkey, pastrami, salami, bacon, pepperoni, and cheese.
Oh, baby.
It was a pretty big sandwich.
Any dressing or mayo or chipotle?
I would I'd throw on pickles and hot peppers.
Pickles
and then and yellow mustard.
Yeah, that killed it.
Not a mustard guy?
You know what's funny? I don't mind mustard, like on a pastrami. It's just, I don't know. That's what you went with? I guess mayo would have been what I went with.
I don't know. I mean, I like mustard more than mayo, especially with the pastrami aspect.
Yeah. So just so I got this one more time. It was your finest meats as such as pastrami, salami, turkey?
Yep, turkey, bacon. So turkey, bacon. All right, hold on, let me do this now. Turkey, pastrami, salami, bacon, pepperoni, and cheese.
I'm in on that, bro.
I thought you'd like
it. Bypass. What? The 5?
I called it the 5-way bypass. Just because if you eat that too much, you'd probably die.
I would like to just walk up somewhere. I'd like the 5-way bypass, please. All right, Chad. Well, so your family you don't make sandwiches anymore.
No, unfortunately, no. I switched over to firefighting, so I'm not a sandwich maker anymore.
Well, you know what? You went from killing people to saving lives. You are a great man.
So, yeah, you guys have a good day. It was good talking to you.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Bye.
Getting hungry now.
Done with the randomness now?
Getting hungry.
Alex, I'm sure you know this working with me sometimes.
No, I fully expected it coming in.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I knew what I was getting into.
Well, I don't want you to blow all the takes today for camp week, you know? Because you got to stretch this out. We're on Tuesday, right?
Yeah, I did have a card take for you, though.
All right. Well, we can. Well, let's do it next.
All right.
Let's do it next. Why not? Here on the Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
seen these guys in a couple weeks.
So wait, who's in the band now? I mean, obviously, Dimebag's dead.
Zach Wilde is the guitarist now.
For those who listen to the Joe Show Open, Zach Wilde is one of the guitarists featured. Oh, wait, so it's Zach Wilde. Who's the drummer? What happened? Vinnie Paul's not still with the band, right? What happened to Vinnie Paul? He passed away, too. Both of them are dead. Is the singer there?
Yes.
Ensemble? So Zach Wilde is now playing this. Does everything he do have that?
I got a pretty awesome video of him doing it when I saw them last summer opening up for Metallica.
I will say this. I love Zach Wilde. I think he is, amazing.
He's been around forever, too.
He's no Bruce, though, Alex.
No.
He might be better. All right.
No Steve Van Zandt.
I know Alex has a card question. I mentioned there's a big card show next week. I just wanted to bring up the interactions that we are getting on our Twitter, which feel free, everybody, to tweet at us. He's at the real Alex Barth?
No, just real Alex Barth.
Okay. Where else can you go for a $6.99 fresh loaded steak and cheese? That's Market Basket. Real deal in West Roxbury, which I've been to. Turkey with stuffing cranberry sauce. It's delicious. I agree. I've been there. My favorite Hawaiian shirt. My two dogs showing off their personality. It looks like a doodle and something. Stan in Hawaii, aloha. From the sound of that sigh that you make, you provide your own gravy.
That's a good one.
Mahalo. The deli at Gary's Liquors in West Roxbury, or is that Brookline? Great steak and cheese egg rolls once a week. All right. The Hotline Pizza. Someone has sent me the spicy honey roni with ricotta. Oh, baby. Joe, tell me about your Sedan Raffaella cards. Hey, dudes, are the same company as Crocs? I don't believe it. You can get wide ones. I can't custom order Crocs. Joe is the worst at sticking on the... okay, yes, I am.
I got another sandwich for you if you want, by the way.
Yep. In 2001, I was sticking the clock radio on my pillow listening to the initial seasons of Grandy and Max on 1510. It birthed my long, heart-wrenching relationship with the Celtics. So sometimes 1510 always just gets brought back up again. Are Crocs the most controversial shoe?
Yeah. Yeah. Is that what are those? No, I don't think that was Crocs.
Those were just he did those to a cop, right? So they were just like dress shoes
they were just like regular shoes.
Are they the most?
They're. Crocs are. What are those? You've seen that. You know what that is, right?
I laughed when you said it. That's why. What's your card question?
Do you ever find any... So this was I don't want to say it was pre-video games, but sports video games really weren't that great yet. We used to play this game growing up called MLB Showdown. Mm-hmm. Which was cards. You'd collect baseball cards. But they were special cards. It's one of those dice role-playing games with sports, and the cards would have different numbers on them. And you'd have your team, you'd have your lineup, you'd have your pitchers, and you'd roll the dice, and it would decide all right, this is a single, this is a ground out, this is a double, blah, 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 whatever. And I was cleaning some stuff up in my house, and I found my old cards. And I was like, man, this was a great game, and it sucks because kids probably wouldn't play it anymore because you can just play MLB The Show. But do you ever see those cards around? Because I was looking online, some of them were going for good money. I'll show you a picture. I'll pull one up.
MLB Showdown, huh?
Yeah, it was a great game. There was an NFL one too, but it didn't work the same. It wasn't as well. I think there was a basketball one for a year.
You know what's funny? I have a Barry Bonds one.
So did you this one?
Yeah,
I had that.
I have it. Still,
you still have it?
I still have it. Yeah,
I had one, and then I traded it to my cousin to get a '96 Roger Clemens.
So I've seen a few of them. The Barry Bonds one, if it's the hollow foil, which someone has one on eBay right now for $270.
I was going to say they go. So I was looking at it because I was going through. I mean, not to brag, I had a pretty good team, and I'm going through my lineup and I'm looking up the cards. I'm like, some of these are worth some money. There were some where there'd be throwback cards, so the stats wouldn't be based on that year; they'd be based on a throwback year. So I'd 97 Griffey. I had an MVP Edgar Martinez card. I had the Clemens 96. I had a Roy Halladay card from 03. They stopped making them in 05. But
The card, though, that you're speaking of, it's number 374. It's a first edition.
The Bonds one?
Generally, it's about a $15 raw card. But $15 for a piece of paper from 1990, like that's what it cost. A graded one's about $140.
I would love it if that game made a comeback. It was because I'm hoping that, like, because this was when you know, like sports cards, like that whole thing kind of went away for a little bit, and then now it's coming back. I would love to see MLB Showdown come back with it, because that was we used to have, like, we'd all go over to somebody's house. We'd have like these big tournaments because everybody I grew up with played. Like all my friends played.
With the show having Diamond Dynasty, which is basically almost like the same thing, you're collecting like cards. I don't know if you'd ever see anything.
It's never
like
going to happen, which is a shame because it was a great thing. It was fun.
Jeff, hockey cards, let me tell you, they are making not even a comeback, but there's so much money in hockey cards. Alex Ovechkin cards, big. Old Steve Yzerman stuff, big money. But only Upper Deck now makes cards. So, listen, there was a tragedy this week in the memorabilia world. Read into it if you want, but there's some controversy about what's authentic and what's not. So, just public service announcement. I will be at the Polar Park Card Show next week.
Yeah.
But the best part about things like this is you can walk around and see vendors that have cards that you may have had as a kid. And like yesterday, I sold a Larry Bird from 1983, but it was a very, like, in 1983, it was a common card. I got it. It was graded. It was like a $40 card, whatever. But it was nostalgic to someone because that was when they were born.
Right.
And they were like, my dad had this card. He gave it to me. So, like, that's really what it's about, is you see what people have. The new stuff, though, Alex, like Bo Nix, Drake Mays, they call them downtowns.
Yeah.
These things raw worth $600.
That's
you grade
wild to
them, and
me.
they're worth $15 to $2,000. But that's what everybody wants now.
Right.
They want to get that type of card.
Because in 10 years...
Exactly. But the other thing is, it's a stock, right?
Yeah.
Think of it as like my Mo Vaughn rookie card from 1992. I thought I was going to, retire. It's worth 24 cents. 24 cents. 24.
Why?
I don't, because it's the junk wax era of the 90s.
Okay.
They produce so many of them.
I got you.
But I did see the Billy Ripken card yesterday for those that
with the barrel?
The barrel says F you.
My dad has a ton of those.
They're worth dough.
I was going to say, those are worth good money, right?
Yeah, there's a Mark Jackson card with the Menendez brothers in there.
Partway through producing them, they realized and they scrubbed it off the bat, right?
Oh, yeah.
So there's some that have it with the words and some like the same card without the words.
You want it with the words because that's the authentic,
Good.
baby.
That should be the more valuable
and
one.
You can get them graded. And just to mention this, too, there are people who think they have something, cards that are worth money. So here's my number one thing. Don't call me and say, hey, Joe, what's this card worth? I don't know. You asked me about the cards. I looked them up and said, hey,
Well, I'm just not even what they're
there
worth.
is a mark.
I'm just curious
There's a
if you ever
market.
see them. If they're still out there.
Oh, it's very collectible.
I'm glad they're still out there. That's good. That was a great game.
I don't know what your card is worth because, for example, I have a Michael Jordan rookie card.
Yeah.
Okay. Raw, it's worth like $150. Well, when I looked at it yesterday, some guy goes, wow, the centering's really off on this card. And when I looked at it, I go, wow, the centering really is off on the card. So that's what we mean by graded cards. I don't know how to really grade a card. So you have to send it out to PSA, SGC, Beckett, wherever. They'll take the time to look at it with a magnifying glass, look for creases, and then they put a number on it. From there, they will basically tell you what it's worth. For example, I graded my Snow Bowl ticket that I got. It was Tom Brady. So there was multiple reasons why the ticket's worth money. A, it was Tom Brady's first playoff game. B, it was the Snow Bowl, Tuck Rule. C, it was the last game ever at Gillette Stadium or Old Foxborough Stadium.
Yeah.
So, that's why the card ended up being valued at $1,500. It was also a comp ticket. It wasn't a season ticket. Season ticket might have been worth a little bit more, I think. But anyways, my point is you have to go to these events to have someone look at them to get them graded. So my suggestion, if you have things that you think are worth money or you want to sell or trade, come to the show and I can direct you on where to get those things done. And Alex, I forgot it. It's in my car right now. But somebody gifted me a Scott Zolak card yesterday.
This one was on my computer when I got here.
Oh, I have that one of Zoe too.
Flying around.
The one that someone gave me yesterday was like really nice. It was like I bet you it's like a $3 or $4 card.
This is 93 Fleer Ultra.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to see if it has. They usually have the number of how many were produced. I don't think this one has it. 296. It doesn't say out of how many, but 296.
Great. Awesome. Well, anyways, I'll be there, and you can come and hang out. Jeremy's in Westport. Jeremy.
Oh, that was quick, guys. Joe, Alex, what's up, guys?
Hey.
I was just telling close to me to I'd like to get back into like cards. When I was younger, I used to do it a lot. My son's 13, my son's name is Brady. By the way, just throwing it out there. But I'm a big football guy. Obviously, I'm a big Patriots guy. I kind of like always used to mess with the football cards. So my question to you guys, and I just heard you guys talking about like Raw. What do you guys like? I don't know exactly what that
Raw means. You just open the package and it's as is.
Okay, so like that's before it's graded and stuff like that.
Yep.
Okay. Where's let me ask you guys this: where's a good place to go to like buy a box, like some packs of cards?
Card Vault, Boston, Foxborough, Foxwoods. Tell them Joe Murray sent you.
There you go.
Mike's in Stoneham.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good.
Listen, Joe, I'm actually almost a certain pizza that you get, and also, do you guys want one?
I'm sorry, you broke up. What'd you say?
I said I'm almost at Volo in Lynn.
Yep.
Do you guys want a pizza?
Well, listen.
What would you get, Joe?
You go in there and tell Tony and Pina that I said that it's my favorite pizza. And know what I would also just say Joe Murray.
Your favorite.
It's my favorite. You might see my photo on the wall in there, by the way, too.
I think he's looking for like the recommended order.
I would get a Detroit-style pepperoni.
Okay, brother, that's what I'm doing. Also, second question, as a big-footed guy, I got a 16 as well. Joe, where do you get most of your shoes from?
I have to go Nike because they make them wide.
Really? Well, I usually use Amazon, but they're normally pieces of crap shoes. And I'm a poor man, probably like you.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes.
So I have wide feet too. I'm size 11, but and I'm wearing Nikes right now because these were just I found them. But like, I usually don't wear Nike because I have wide feet. Nikes usually don't fit me. Maybe it changes at a certain size.
So there's certain I get the Dunk lows, they fit.
Okay. So because I usually I mostly wear Adidas because Adidas run a little wider than usual.
So Skechers,
that's my
Skechers fits the best as a big man.
Does it?
But I don't want to wear a dad sneaker.
That also they use my Adidas is a good balance of it fits well and I like the way they look. Like my golf shoes are Adidas.
Yeah.
Very comfortable, which it is hard to find comfortable golf shoes.
Eddie is on the line. Eddie. You hung up. Sorry, Eddie. Man, I really want a Volo pizza. I just want you to try it. You know how you think something's good, but maybe I just think it's good.
So, one of my friends growing up, he's just picky about everything. He's just great guy, one of my best friends, kind of a snob, but He's so I'd recommend stuff and he'd be like, oh, that's not that good, you're overrating. No, he knows. That's not that good, you're overrating it. Like I tell him about a TV show or a restaurant or whatever. It's not. So when I started telling him about the Kowloon, he was like, all right, I've had Chinese food. Come on. It's the only ever time we went and he was like, you didn't oversell this at all. This was the one time I gained back his
respect. And you were
like,
you always doubt me.
I was like, I told you on this one. I was like, I told you this one was different. So.
Well, Jeff, I bring up Tacos Lapitas, my favorite Mexican joint. There's one out in Lawrence, right?
Dude,
you can
right
verify
down the street from my house.
You can verify that it's great, right?
It's so good. See, I went to the one in Haverhill all the time, too.
I love that place. But I thought only I loved that place until other people validated me. So I can't wait for that man to go to Volo and get a Detroit-style pepperoni and be like, Joe, you were right.
I've been dying to try that place out, too.
Nice little ride. Hey, can you come to the area? Call me. I'll meet you. Take a walk around the haunt, or a ride, whatever. Walk. Yeah. All right, Alex, we're late. Do you want to tell people what this hour of the Sports Hub was brought to us by?
This hour of the Sports Hub was brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Enjoy quick and convenient vehicle maintenance this month. Visit NewEnglandOilChange.com for 15% off your drive-through oil change at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, the official oil change of busy people.
He's Alex Barth. I'm Joe Murray. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray.
Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
The Red Sox dropped their second game in a row yesterday, losing 6-0 to the Chicago Cubs. Sox get back at it today at 2:20, trying to salvage one game in this series. It's Garrett Crochet on the mound, the lineup behind him. Jaron Duran leading off in center field. Roman Anthony's your DH batting second. Ceddanne Rafaela playing second, batting third. Masataka Yoshida, the cleanup hitter, in left field. Trevor Story at shortstop. Wilyer Abreu in right field. Carlos Narvaez at catcher. Marcelo Myers at third base today. Romy Gonzalez at first, and Garrett Crochet again gets the start. Patriots open training camp on Wednesday. The team plays 7 players on PUP and NFI yesterday, including Austin Hooper, Vidarian Lowe, Jelani Tavai, and Carlton Davis. Meanwhile, the team has signed former Rams defensive tackle David Olajiga, a native of England, as their international pathway player. In the NBA, former Celtics guard Marcus Smart is reportedly signing a 2-year, $11 million deal with the Los Angeles Lakers. Smart was bought out by the Washington Wizards yesterday. In the WNBA All-Star game last night, Team Collier beat Team Clark 151-131. The namesake for Team Collier, Nafisha Collier, was named the game's MVP. And at the Open, the gap is narrowing a little bit. Scottie Scheffler still in the lead, but that lead is down to 4 strokes, with Chris Gothard behind him through Scheffler through 11. Goddard up, I think I pronounced that wrong. Goddard up through 13 holes. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Enjoy quick and convenient vehicle maintenance this month. Visit NewEnglandOilChange.com for 15% off your drive-through oil change at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, the official oil change of busy people. I'm Alex Barth on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 1 o'clock.
No matter where you go, you're always connected to Boston sports with the 98.5 The Sports Hub app. Download it wherever you get your apps today.
Quick, smelly.
It's Joe Murray on the Sports.
Belichick responding to Robert Kraft saying one of the riskiest things he ever made was hiring Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick then said it was a risk to come to the Patriots. I've talked to a former Patriots player who was very upset with Bill Belichick's comments about that. So, putting all that aside and bringing that story to Mike Vrabel now. Was it a risk for Mike Vrabel this season to join the New England Patriots?
Not if he got certain assurances that we think he got in terms of roster control and things like that. It certainly could have been, but it seems like he has final say on the roster. It does seem like they're more willing to spend and open that up than they have been the last couple years based on what they did in free agency. And that's not just the deals they got done, the deals that they didn't. We know that Chris Godwin. I don't know. I've done that all offseason. Chris Godwin left money on the table with New England to go back to Tampa, but that was out there. Diggs and the guaranteed money's the real story, so it's not as big as it looks on paper, but that's not an insignificant contract for a 31-year-old receiver coming off a torn ACL. I would say the biggest risk is, I don't want to say the biggest risk is Drake Maye in and of himself, because I think he gave you a promising rookie year, but second-time head coach always comes with risk, because this is your last shot. You really don't get a third shot at this, and putting it all on a quarterback that really has only 1 year in a broken system. And how much is that going to translate? So I wouldn't say there's no risk, but I mean, it's the standard anytime a second-year coach takes a new job. I mean, this is it. This is your last shot.
Is it fair to say that Bill Belichick had more risk going to the Patriots at that time than Mike Vrabel now?
So you could speak to this better than me, because I was 6 and I wasn't as familiar with the politics of all of this. But again, like I said, now we talk so much about second head coaching job being the be-all, end-all. And we'll see coaches sit out a cycle. They'll go be a coordinator, or they'll go be an advisor or something, or they'll go do media. We'll see coaches sit out a cycle if they don't like any of the jobs, to make sure they're in the right spot for their second time. As a second-time head coach with a team that was in cap hell, that did not have a good record the year before, I would say there was some risk with that, yes. But I don't know if the whole second coaching stint thing loomed as large back then as it did now.
Just speaking of the cycle, Belichick, 97, 98, 99 with the Jets.
Yeah.
So those went to an AFC championship game one of those years.
Right.
And then obviously Parcells had the health issues, and Bill just was Belichick was just made the coach.
So I would just say, like, and leaving another job, I think, is part of the risk where you have one, even if he felt like it was. He clearly felt it was more unstable in New York than in New England.
The nuance of all that was the Jets Patriots thing. Like, Bill Parcells got the Patriots to where they were to be a Super Bowl team, left the team to the Jets. I almost used the word collusion because that's going to get brought up over
that's a whole other thing.
That's a whole other thing. But let's just say that the Patriots lost Bill Parcells and Curtis Martin.
Yeah.
And then when they got
Bill, right?
And
Belichick.
And then they had to give up a first-round pick for Bill as well. So it was kind of like a Yankee, Red Sox, Jet, Patriot kind of nuance. You know what I mean? That's what I mean by back then. So you don't need, even though you were 6, that's really the meat and potatoes of it.
So I don't necessarily mean that. Like, I've gone back and done the studying on everything that happened there. I mean the general scope of coaches being more picky when it's their second job, in the league being more hesitant to hire. Because, like, it's not like that in every league. You look at the NHL, some of these guys get 4 or 5 shots as a head coach. And I don't know if it were now, I know how it would work in the current climate. That's his second job after being sub 500 in Cleveland. That would have been it. If it had failed in New England, he would never have gotten a chance to be a head coach again. Period. End of story. I don't know if the climate was the same 25 years ago in that regard as it is now, league-wide.
I think we had a discussion off here in the Jock Lounge once about how many coaches have actually had 3 or more opportunities.
As of late, it's very few, if any.
Maybe Wade Phillips?
Did Wade? I don't know if Wade Phillips had 3. And I'm counting full, not like the head coach got fired and you got named the interim.
Shanahan only was with Washington and Denver. 3? 3, though.
3, yeah.
Did Jeff Fisher? Rams, Titans, did he end up somewhere else, too? 3, because McDaniels, Denver.
So here's what AI is telling me. Parcells had 4.
Dallas,
but
New
that's
England,
how many
Giants.
years ago?
Yep.
Wade Phillips, Broncos, Cowboys, and Bills. But I thought one of those was interim.
That's okay. Maybe one. That's at least fairly
he was
recently.
he was the interim head coach of the Saints, so that doesn't count.
Yeah, that doesn't. But that's
he was
4,
with the Broncos and the Bills.
Okay,
so that's only 2.
Oh, 2. Okay,
right. He has Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll did have 3 because he was the head coach of the Jets for a minute. Bill technically had 3.
Wait, yeah, Jets, Patriots, Seahawks, and now Raiders.
4 actually. You're right.
Yeah.
4 for Carroll. Again, this is AI. And Marty Schottenheimer.
Yeah, Marty. Yeah, he had Chargers, Chiefs.
But again, this. We're going back decades now. Like, this doesn't happen anymore. It's not the way it works. You get 2 shots at it. If not, they're moving on to the next guy. Again, I compare it to the NHL, which gets criticized for being an old boys club, and it is because it's the same. There's 32 jobs. There's like 40 people cycling through those 32 jobs, and there's really no room for new coaches. The NFL is the opposite. They'll make anybody a first-time head coach. They don't want the guys who have gone elsewhere and failed. They don't want that. So it wasn't as much like that 25 years ago. I know in the current climate, which is kind of irrelevant because that's not what we're talking about. In the current climate, Bill coming to the Patriots in those circumstances would have carried some risk, yes.
Got it. All right, JP's in North Providence. JP!
Lord Murray and Barth Vader. Good morning, Joe. Glad to hear you. Morning, Alex. So, Joe, 2 quick things, cards and food. Let's go with the food first. Friday night, you've got to go here. SS Oyster House in Mystic Seaport.
Yep, I know where it is.
Right there at the bridge.
Yep.
There's the best.
I've heard that place great. There's a breakfast joint called Engine Room right there. Oh, baby.
Well, I didn't do that, but I had pork loin, 3 pieces with a butternut squash pate and the sauteed spinach. It was phenomenal. You didn't even need a knife and fork to eat it, Joe. It was fantastic. The view, the whole thing. But if you're down there, you got to do it. It's right there at the bridge. As far as cards, there's cards that you sell. Like one of my kids is doing 1 piece. He's making a killing selling 1-piece cards. Then there's cards for sentimentality. A couple of years ago, he picks me up a John Hanna graded card because he's at the show and he says, I want the greatest Patriot ever. And the guy's showing him Brady cards. He says, no, my dad says it's John Hanna. That's his favorite. Finds me this card, very sentimental. About a month ago, I see a Joe Montana card because he always liked the 49ers with Jerry Rice growing up and was a fan of that. I find him a graded 5 $10 Montana card. Got it for him. You know what? You would have thought I gave him the world, Joe. And sometimes that's what's important with the cards. It just triggers an old memory, the Larry Bird you were talking about, something sentimental. And people lose sight of that. But at the shows, you're right. People see it, and it brings that back. So just a nice memory with it, Joe.
And it's one of the biggest bonding father-son experiences. A lot of guys I know that help their kids and, you know, they're in it together. And it's like when you golf with your kid or whatever. It's like that kind of camaraderie or whatever, you know.
Oh, yeah, we just picked up clubs just specifically for the driving range, some big head old drivers. I play golf. They don't. They want to hit a bucket of balls. Terrific. It's the best way to do it. People lose sight of it sometimes. It might be just getting together to watch the Red Sox. They are going to win today, right, Joe?
You would hope that their ace is the ace today.
Thank you. But it's true. Sometimes it's just that little thing, and you probably see it at the shows. The sentimentality, and you know, it's what somebody will put a price on it. But I just thought I'd share that because it just brought back a nice memory hearing it this morning.
Well, thank you, JP. I appreciate the love.
I used to go, I don't know if they still do it. They'd have like a card show the day before Thanksgiving at the Holiday Inn in
Dedham.
In Dedham, yeah.
They still do them on Sundays now. But
do they? Okay, so I used to go with my dad every year because they'd always have like...
That's still going, that show.
And they'd always have like
guys.
a couple athletes signing from like when he was a kid who he wanted to go meet. We met Jim Longboard there. That was, I think, his favorite one, his favorite year. But I used to go... We haven't done it in a few years. We used to go every year.
Yep. Yeah, that's a good memory.
Honest question for you.
Good memory for you, though, right?
Yeah. Oh, no, I loved going to those. Honest question for you. Has anybody ever called in with a restaurant you didn't know? Yeah. Like, in all honesty, I feel like every single time, I know that.
But
I've been
years ago, when I would fill in for the predecessor, we would do a bit, and somebody would just call in from a town and be like, all right, Joe. Although they name a town, and they'd have to give a restaurant.
You'd have to give a restaurant. All right.
Yeah, it was...
It's impressive.
Yeah. I'll travel for food.
Yeah.
By the way, he mentioned Downtown Mystic.
Yeah.
You're a golfer.
Yeah.
You've been to Foxwoods, right?
I've not, actually.
Oh, my God. Okay. Golf, Foxwoods.
Yeah.
Mystic the next day.
Okay.
Downtown Mystic, like people think Mystic Pizza. No, it's like that. He mentioned that oyster house.
Yeah.
Breakfast. There's a great bakery called
I've
Sift.
heard it's a good like food scene down there.
It's an ocean town, not necessarily to like swim, but it's an oceanside town. And Mason's Island's absolutely beautiful over there. If you've never been, George.
Okay.
Oh boy. Hey, George, how you doing, buddy?
George.
Does he know he's on the air?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, what's up?
So you're going to the Worcester Card Show at Polo Park, correct?
Correct.
So if you're up for a little drive, you said you'll travel for food. There's a great spot in Sutton, Mass, not too far from Worcester, called Tony's Pizza.
Yep.
Best steak and cheese sub I've ever had. I think you'll really enjoy it.
I've never had the steak and cheese, but I'm very aware of it.
The steak, they put so much steak in it, Joe, you can't even close the bread. They pack it.
You ever been to Carl's steak and cheese?
No. Where is that?
Down the street.
Oh, yeah, I've had that. I've had it here. I don't think I've ever been in there, but I've had it here.
Thick boy.
Yeah.
I actually need a nap. Well, we should probably go to break, huh? Let's re-rack this. There's a Drake Maye question. Tim wants to talk about the Bruins. Well, he hung up because I said we're going to a break.
Yeah.
And then we have a Belichick Kraft on the call. And I want to ask you at some point the offensive MVP, defensive MVP. So we'll do all that coming up next. And we got to do some camp thoughts.
Yes.
So we'll do that next here on the Sports Hub.
You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5.
have. And I mean, every minor league team and some major league teams this weekend, like if they had a kiss cam, did you see what the Phillies did? And no, it's not going to. I don't remember the last time I saw something go this viral on the internet. This is an all-timer. I don't think this is going away anytime soon.
Well, Coldplay, huh?
Has me listen.
2020 Coldplay 2025.
They were making fun of it at the show last night. I saw a video. He was telling people, like, by the way, we're going to show some of you on the Jumbotron now. Just so you know, be prepared. So even they're having fun with it.
All right, we'll take a couple of calls here. Let's go, Bert in Berlin. Hey, Bert.
Hey, guys. This Belichick Kraft thing. So, look, Robert Kraft is so desperate to somehow recover the legacy that he led into the friggin' ground in crashing, burning fashion. I mean, people shouldn't forget that he is responsible for everything that goes on there. You know, top down. And the narrative about Bill Belichick forcing Brady out and, you know, Kraft's hands were tied, it's preposterous. If he's up there in his high chair watching football every weekend for 25 years or plus, and he can't tell that Brady's still got gas in the tank, and he doesn't want to pony up, $25 million a year, which is market value for 2 more years, have the guy retire and a Patriot, and it all blew up. So people need to lighten up on Belichick. Yeah, he's a total, but he's genuine, right? He's a genuine a-hole, whereas Robert is just out of touch. He's
so we need to ease up on Belichick. And
no. Don't ease up on Belichick.
Well, listen. I only heard you. I heard you. I was listening, comprehending.
Yeah. Okay, good. Well,
but you just said that basically we need to ease up on an a-hole.
Let me rephrase.
Now we're rephrasing.
That's what you said.
Let me rephrase. Come on, Joe.
All right, fine.
You know.
I say stupid things too. Go ahead.
Yeah, I know. But my point is, RKK is the guy, and it's he's desperate. He's got so much to patch up. His miserly ways have been exposed beyond repair.
Bert, here's the deal.
I mean,
Bert, here's the deal.
Yeah.
Kraft had risk.
Bill
had risk. They're beefing. There's a beef, and now they're all trying to get whatever credit they can because Tom Brady is really the reason for all the credit.
It's juicy. I love it.
I'm just saying that what's missing here is Tom Brady,
right? And he's not going to say anything about it because he doesn't need to.
Yep, but I'm sure that Brady would say he needed both Kraft and Belichick because he takes the high road and knows that he wouldn't have gotten where he was without them.
Right.
But they want to be the ones that were like, well, it was all right, my idea.
Right.
And then, that's really where they're egomaniacs. And again, Skaz is not a big Bill Parcells guy. Not sure if you ever heard any Skaz's commentary regarding Bill Parcells. He was younger then, so doesn't understand the impact, but he thinks that, Parcells came here, built everything, or did he, and then basically left and went to the Jets, but yet gets praised. Let's not forget, Bill Parcells inherited who?
Belichick?
Robert Kraft.
Oh, Kraft, yeah.
So, Kraft was the one who put Bobby Greer and other guys that were not good. And how was Pete Carroll supposed to do anything? Who, by the way, Pete Carroll had a pretty good winning record in New England.
Yeah.
Pete Carroll gets a raw deal for what happened in New England. I don't know. Looking at it now, wasn't he a pretty good coach?
Yeah.
Isn't he a Hall of Fame coach?
Yeah.
With talent on the roster? Yeah, going 8-8. That's why he got fired. He got fired because he was on a team that went 8-8 with great talent.
There are bad coaches that look like good coaches because their roster is talented.
Absolutely. I mean, Jerry Jones has gone out and said anyone could have coached the 90s Cowboys. Well, I don't know. Since Jimmy Johnson and et cetera, what have you done? Who made the Herschel Walker trade? I'm pretty sure it was Jimmy Johnson. So it's like Jerry Jones wants to take credit for that. What is up with owners wanting to make credit? They always take the credit. So to Bert's point, yes, Kraft probably is trying to take a little bit too much credit.
Yeah.
Because he's the boss. And the boss, you know what here, Alex, if you do something great, they're going to get commentary from the higher ups, right? But Alex Barth does this, and then it's going to be like, program director says this, and then blank. It's just everybody has got their hands in the cookie jar. Everyone does. But in the case we're discussing, it's Brady that will compliment both of them.
Right.
They will not. Jason is in Connecticut. Hey, Jason.
Hey, what's up, guys? Barth, big fan. You're quickly becoming one of my favorite Patriots reporters. And Joe, I really appreciate how real you are on the air. Definitely the realest host on the Sports Hub. But I wanted to get to this Drake Maye fake news wedding gift story that was spread by Zoe. For some reason, this story has really gotten under my skin. The story undoubtedly has put Dre in some awkward situation, put a little pressure on him. Doesn't really matter how big or how much, but it was unnecessary. Barth, if you spread a story like this, you'd be getting a talking to from your bosses. Zoe is a employee of the organization, so I really hope that when Zoe gets back, he maybe apologizes to Drake on air and apologizes to the fans.
Jason, you said I'm real, right? And I'm going to be real with you.
Yeah.
For you to be upset about this, I think, is a little...
Well, I mean, fake news is such an issue in our country today, Joe.
Yes, it is.
So that's all it is. What you say matters in this world. Zoe speaks for the organization, and it's not great to put other people in bad situations just because you're not doing your due diligence,
I don't know if he put anyone in a bad situation. All I can tell you is we search the internet every day for stories. I get duped by stories all the time. Now, do I always run to the air with them? No. I try to fact check them. But, I think that Zoe saw our story. I'm not going to speak for Zoe. I think he saw our story.
I mean, it wasn't even it was an AI voice robot talking about a story that's been debunked numerous times.
I'm not going to bury the guy for seeing something and commenting on it. Because we don't know what to believe on the internet anymore. I think where you're going with this is he's an employee of the team.
And that's my point. We don't know what to believe on the internet, and that's my issue.
But why do you want to bury the guy for seeing something? I'm not the guy. Zoe doesn't need me to defend him, okay? But what you calling in and talking about this, are you trying to bring awareness of doing a better job, or what awareness are you trying to bring right now?
Maybe that is it. Doing a better job. I think everybody could do a better job. But I mean, I guess fake news is such an...
Jason, what do you do for work?
I'm a risk analyst.
Okay, and okay then. I'll drop my case.
There you go. He kind of got you there, Joe.
Talk about a mic drop situation there.
Yeah.
Huh? You know what? I just don't. Why are we going to call? Beatles been beat. They're buddies. When we like people, we bust each other's balls. Yeah. I'm not going to beat Zoe up for this. I'm not going to.
I'm sure he'll get calls about it when he gets back and he can answer for himself. I'm just glad it was figured out before Drake got asked about it. But yeah, Zoe doesn't need us to defend him.
So what do you do for work? I'm a risk analyst. Okay.
When the risk analyst is telling you to take less risks, you kind of have to.
Do you see how it triggered that guy?
Yeah.
That story, I laughed about it. Did you? Did you laugh? Did you laugh?
About the initial story, that when we found out that it was AI.
That it was AI.
I kind of figured it. I was trying to find the second source on it. I was like, if that was the case, I had always felt like the team would have done something on it. So I figured there was something else to drop there. Either we were going to get something from the team about it, or we were going to find out that it was either not fully the way that it was said or not at all. But
did anybody call BS on it?
Initially, I don't remember. I was off that weekend.
Okay.
So I wasn't around. Somebody had texted me about it the day when Zoe said it, and I kind of read it quick. Oh, it's a nice thing. And then, I was off for a couple days. I wasn't.
I'm on with him tomorrow. I don't want to do this. Because I say I'm on I work 6 days a week on the air. I can't be accurate every day. I can't. I'm sorry if you think I get paid professionally to be completely accurate 100% of the time.
I mean,
I'm a human being.
I don't want to put words in your mouth. Would you define yourself as a journalist?
No, I'm not a journalist.
Right.
I'm not a reporter.
If you were a journalist, it would be different.
Yeah. I don't have journalistic integrity. I'm sorry.
Well, you're not a journalist. You don't need to.
Not a journalist. I'm not a reporter.
Right.
And you know how many people text me things that I never talk about? Because I don't know.
So if you were saying you're a journalist, it would be different. But you don't say you're a journalist, so you're an entertainer.
Yeah, I'm more of a. I work in improvisation.
That's entertainment.
I'm prepared, and then I entertain. You're right.
You're an entertainer, as a lot of us are. Yeah. And so it's different.
My only thing, Alex, here is I don't want people to think you or I are defending the wall here. I just don't think I'm going to laugh it off more than hold them accountable. Which maybe some people want to hold people accountable for things, I guess.
I'm not going to tell other people how to feel about it. Like, that's not my place. I'm not going to speak for Zoe because that's not my place either. I would just say I'm sure Zoe will have something to say about it, and we'll see what he has to say. He doesn't need a talking to from us. That's not going to do anything.
Yes.
And neither one of us want to give him a talking to either.
I'm going to support him. And we're going to have a great show tomorrow. And I'm already thinking of this or that.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know. Who's going to wear the hat tomorrow? I think Perillo should wear it.
Oh, the captain's hat.
And what about Tuesday? You want to do it? You want to wear it?
I might have to.
We're with him on Tuesday.
It depends who comes up with the this or that. Why can't Milliken wear it? I want to see Milliken wear the captain's hat. Get the mustache back. That'd be a good look for him.
Yep. All right, Alex. I wrote things down to ask you today. Let me see what else I got here that is worth asking you. But we'll take a quick break. What did I have for 12:40 today? Oh! A famous food chain trying to come to the area.
Ooh.
We'll tell you who that is coming up next here on the Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
All right, back here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. I wanted to bring this up because I saw it come up, and I forget who I had the conversation with, but I know that a bunch of our colleagues are in Vegas for the Celtic Summer League. And, of course, when it comes to going to Vegas, you got to try the In-N-Out burger. And today I saw In-N-Out may open a Massachusetts location once a patty-making facility is established within 300 miles of the state. The chain insists on fresh food, no freezing, prepackaging, or microwaving. The current states are Arizona, California, Colorado, Idaho, Nevada, Oregon, Texas, Utah. Is Alex Barth in or out on In-N-Out?
First of all, if they come here, you have to get a deal with them.
Please.
There has to.
Done.
In or out, brought to you by In-N-Out. Like, it's
Done.
so obvious. It's so obvious.
Thank you, Alex.
I'm in. So I went in Vegas when I went for the Shrine Bowl a couple years ago. Does it totally live up to all of the hype? I mean, you hear In-N-Out, In-N-Out, In-N-Out. I don't know that it lives up to all of that, but it is very, very good. Like, I'll take it over Shake Shack. I like In-N-Out better than Shake Shack.
Me too.
And that's comparable, right? That's Five Guys, I think, is a different category.
Yep.
If we're going to talk about the burger chains, like the step up from McDonald's burger chains, what else is there? I know I'm missing one.
It's like those smash burgers and you burgers.
I do like a good smash burger.
Now, listen, Boston Burger Company, which is fantastic around here, it's kind of its own entity, so I don't want to compare them.
You know what I like? Like, my go-to is Tasty Burger. I love me some Tasty Burger.
Love me a Tasty Burger.
Is the one behind Fenway still there? I haven't been this year.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's the one I.
There used to be one in Southie, right on what street? I could just
and then there was the one in South Station.
Yeah, walk-up window.
But the one by Fenway was great because you get out of the game, and now street meat's like $15.
I love street meat.
I do too, but part of the thing, it's not supposed to cost $15. Mm. It's whatever's left in my pocket at the end of the night.
You're right. They can ask $15.
They can. Oh no, they can, and good for them. Like, get paid. I'm not blaming them for it, but you go around the corner, that Tasty Burger there behind Fenway Park. Oh, Wahlburger's the other one.
Wahlburger's good.
You know, it's really good burger by Fenway Park. You ever been to Audubon?
I've never had a burger there.
But you've been there. You know, this place, the big sign that just says bar over it.
Mm-hmm.
Really good burger at Audubon. Good food in general. That's a good spot.
Can we speak on hamburgers for a second?
Sure.
Jeff, I would like to bring you in on this. Do you know what This is going to be controversial. You expect phone calls. I'm not out. Okay? Because if I was out, I'd tell you I'm out. I think the most overrated brand of burger right now is Smash Burger. Everyone's like, oh, I went to a place last night.
Yeah.
It was good. It was good. I just think the Smash Burger, it's just overrated.
Why?
I want the beef, baby. Give me the
okay.
I'm down with the thickness.
You get a good Smash Burger. First of all, you order a good Smash Burger at a restaurant, they're giving you 2 patties. You can't have a 1-patty Smash Burger. That's not enough.
Agreed.
So
that's rule number 1.
I will give you that caveat. My buddy got a Blackstone. The homemade Smash Burgers, now that's another level. Homemade Smash Burger is great. But no, I'm with you. Like, sometimes you want more. Sometimes you want the big burger. But I like the crust. So if you give me the 2 patties, that's enough for me. Like, I can get by on that. 1-patty Smash Burger, that's an appetizer. That's not enough food.
You like the Smash Burger?
I do, because, like you said, when you get that crust, it's like a chemical, like, it does something to, like, make it just so much flavorful.
Yeah.
So I do like it, but, like, I'm like you, Joe. Like, I do like a thick burger. I want to, like, bite into something.
Give me the thick boy.
That's why if you get the 2 patties, you still are. I went to one place that had 2 patties and they put bacon in between the 2 patties. Ooh. So not just having bacon on there, but the placement. Because I'm a big texture guy when it comes to food. I don't want my food to just taste good. Like, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, like, the bacon between the 2 patties, you get a nice... It's not really a crunch. I don't know what the term would be. Like, it's a crunch, but it's not a crunch. But you get from there. It's very good.
So you prefer a regular burger, but when you get the smash, you like the change because of the texture.
Yeah, I don't think...
And the seasonings.
I wouldn't, like... If I had to choose between the 2, I mean, it depends how hungry I am.
Like, if we did a this or that for the rest of your life...
Yeah. Only smash burgers
or regular burger.
I'd probably go regular burger, but I would miss smash burgers. There are times where I'd be like, man, a smash burger would be what I really want right now. You know what's great? The pub burgers. You get the pub burgers at like Shaw's.
Love.
So that's the other extreme.
I love pub burgers.
I love me the pub. See, I'll take the pub burger over the smash burger. Doesn't mean I don't like smash burgers, but I'll take the pub burger over the smash burger every time. And if you can get the crust right on a pub burger, you sear a pub burger right, now you're in business. Now you're really in business.
All right. Well, I might have rattled some cages with that one. I feel like this is a good discussion.
It's a good discussion. No, because it is the new hip thing is the smash burger.
I'm not saying I don't like it. I like it. I ate the whole thing in 30 seconds.
Well, so that is the thing. They can go quick. That's why you got to get the double bun, the double patties. You got to get something else on there, some bacon. Usually they have a good sauce on there.
Smash burger is good if you want to eat. Like for example, the guys I went out with last night were going to a show.
Yeah.
I just was eating with them, and then they went to the show.
Yeah.
So they got a smash burger and went to the show. I was left hungry still. I was like, should I have gotten two?
So I'll also notice this. Well, was it single or double patty?
It was a double patty, little sister.
With fries?
Fries.
Usually they give you more fries with the smash burger than they give you with the regular burger.
Fries
I think to make up for it.
Fries are on the side.
Oh, you had to get fries separate? Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know where you went, but any place that serves a burger without fries is...
Yeah, it was a place that has a hall, so it's kind of like if you're going to eat there, you got to pay the piper.
I got you.
I will say, though, it was a good experience. How about that?
All right.
Experience kind of matters, right?
Yeah.
Speaking of experience, Danny from Quincy's on the line.
Well, first of all, Joe, I got to get this off my chest. The guy from Rhode Island that calls up with his date night and restaurant scenario, JP there or whatever his name, it could be a nuclear holocaust. And no matter what time of day or night I turn on the radio, I'm going to get him. I'm going to get his call. And I'm not criticizing, but I get him. I don't understand it, but it's just that's the way it is. Okay? But anyway, just thought I'd throw it out. Listen to the date night and what he had for dinner. It's great radio. But anyway, Pete Carroll, he inherited a Super Bowl team. They went 10-6, 9-7, 8-8. They won their first 4 games on the 8-8 season, and they finished 8-8. The players were walking all over the guy, and he deserved to be fired. He was not a good coach for the Patriots, Joe.
Okay.
That's it? No interaction?
I thought he was good. I did think they walked all over him. And I don't think he was the only reason why.
He wasn't a good coach. Belichick got more crap in the 2019 season when they started 8-0, coming off a Super Bowl year, and they finished, I believe, with 12 wins, and they gave up 14 points in that Tennessee game. And Brady and the offense couldn't get it in from the 1-yard line coming off of 2 timeouts. And Belichick got all the crap, okay? So I know there's media bias. And the guy that called earlier about Belichick saying it was Kraft, it is Kraft. Red Auerbach had the opportunity to keep Larry Bird until the guy retired as a Celtic. A lot of people criticized that move, because the Celtics did suffer for trying to hold together the big three back in the day. Mm-hmm. They aged out. Bird aged out. He wouldn't play for another team anyway. He'd retire as a Celtics, unlike Brady. And then you had Reggie Lewis and Lenny Bias pass away, so those things happened as well. But the Celtics never recovered from holding on to those players. But Red Auerbach vetoed the people around him. Bob Kraft could have done the same thing. And you just keep failing to realize that he had veto power on Tom Brady over Belichick. And yeah, they all try to take credit and stop saying Brady is this Mr. Humble. He is overtly, shucks, the boy next door. He's as egotistical and narcissistic as them all. He just doesn't show it. Okay, Joe? Please.
Okay.
But not showing it's part of it. That makes a difference.
Okay, all right. Well, The guy's right. The caller that called earlier was right. Belichick is genuine. He is who he is. He doesn't change his stripes or says what people want to hear. That is why I respect him. He can be an a-hole. They're all a-holes as far as I'm concerned. But he's genuine. He's not a phony. Kraft is a freaking media phony. He does what he says and does what the media, what he thinks the media wants him to hear. You know, he disappeared during that Tom Brady departure. 3 years he went underground because he was having the massage parlor issues. So he went AWOL from the media, didn't answer any questions about that. Jonathan Kraft used to come on every Sunday with Beal before the game and answer all questions. That disappeared. They went AWOL, and they do it when it's convenient for them, and then when they come back when it's convenient for them. It's about friggin' time somebody called them out for it. I've been doing it. Nobody else does, and I'm here to say it to you.
Okay, Danny. Thank you.
All right. Well, I mean, you know, you can just say, you can comment on it, Joe. Have an interaction.
What do you want? What do you want me to say?
I want you to say I disagree with you. At least Barth there commented on it.
Okay, couple of things. Bill Parcells went 32-32 as a Patriots coach. I think he was better than Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll went 27-21. So I just wanted to just give you the records because those are the facts.
Okay, so you're telling me. Okay,
my opinion is Parcells was better than Carroll.
So the record. Okay, so.
But I think Pete was good.
His forte was defense. I'll give him the fact that he was a good defensive coach. I don't think he even. I think he could have done more with the Seattle team than he did. To be honest with you, I think that was
He would have won.
I think it was a failure in
Malcolm
Seattle.
Butler didn't happen. He would have won two. He would have won 2 Super Bowls if Malcolm Butler didn't happen.
Back to back. He would have gone back to back.
I agree with that. Okay, so maybe you got me on that one.
USC
So maybe that was
recruiting.
But
I mean, it's college, but still, I mean, he had some of the greatest teams.
He was a good defensive coach. He was a player's coach. There's no question about it. He had a good fit. So, yeah, I'll give him the credit for Seattle. I'll take that one back.
What did you want
me
to get on Kraft about?
You could also, just real quick on Carroll, you could argue Pete Carroll's the last coach that had success both at the NFL and college level.
Might be the only.
All right, but, I mean, we're talking about we're talking about his tenure as a Patriots coach.
Okay.
Right? Again, 10-6, 9-7, 8-8.
Do you think Kraft was more involved with Parcells or Carroll?
I'm sorry?
Do you think Kraft was more involved with Parcells or Carroll?
What do you mean by involved?
Meddling.
Oh, I think he was meddling with Parcells way more than Pete Carroll. No question about it. That's why Parcells left. Parcells left because he wouldn't let him run the show. And Parcells thought he knew more than Kraft, and he did. Parcells was a genius, and with regard to personnel, he was a genius. Talent acquisition, a genius. Great with the media. Loved Parcells. He's my favorite coach. I like Belichick because he was kind of a protege of Parcells. He had the same style, and don't forget, it was Belichick that designed those defenses that won for Parcells. And he designed the defenses because that Buffalo game, the only way they could have beaten Buffalo in that game was to do it the way they did it. And I think Scott Norwood, they put Norwood in a position where he never succeeded. I think beyond 30 yards on natural grass, Norwood was a failure. So he set it up. It was a perfect Belichick Parcells combination, and that Super Bowl with the Giants. So, you know, it's. I don't know. I'm just going back to look at the comparisons. But
Danny, let me ask you one more thing about you talked about the Brady thing, and Kraft had veto power, and he should have stepped in. Yep. And you mentioned that you liked Bill because he thought like Parcells, and he kind of followed Parcells like a lot of what Parcells did.
Yeah,
and
a little bit. Yep.
It's not necessarily. There's a butterfly effect. Anytime you change something in history, Parcells left because Kraft became too meddling. If Kraft had stepped in and said, no, we're paying Tom Brady, do you think Bill would have stayed?
Of course. Bill Belichick would not have quit the Patriots because
at the time some people thought elsewise.
I'm sorry?
At the time, because Bill was the one that was ready to move on from Brady. At the time, some people thought that might have been the beginning. Maybe he wouldn't have left that minute, but that would have been the beginning of the end between Bill and Kraft.
I don't think so. Look at how long Bill Belichick hung on with the Patriots.
Because he got his way with Brady.
No, after Brady left.
Right, because he was the one that was ready to move on from Brady. So Kraft let him move on from Brady, so he stayed.
But he was at odds with Kraft. The media is just coming out with these stories now about the odds between Kraft and Belichick. But I believe Belichick and Kraft did not like each other.
Right. So if they didn't like each other, and Kraft came in and said, "I'm making the say on the quarterback, not you," how do you think Bill would have reacted?
No, I think Kraft could have called a meeting and said, "Let's make it work." What's
he
the
tried
problem?
to do that.
He did.
He never did. I'm sorry?
He tried to do that.
Yeah.
He did.
He
tried
did
to
not.
do that.
No,
He did.
not together.
That's how Brady ended up coming. He was originally supposed to leave after 18. That's how they got that extra year.
They got the extra year because they won a Super Bowl in 18. I mean, did you realize?
Joe, am I
people forget about that Super Bowl. They dropped that Super Bowl. It's the forgotten Super Bowl because they won it 13-3.
No,
and we all know that was the Belichick Super Bowl.
Deal. They didn't want to give him the contract. Thank you, Danny. You've been on too long. They gave him the contract. They wanted to do it because if he signed the deal, they couldn't franchise him or do anything to that degree.
Yeah.
So basically, they lost any leverage with Brady once he signed that deal.
Right. That deal was essentially you're going to give us one more year, and then
they knew that when he signed that deal, and he probably I set the expectation that to them and to himself, he could not be back with the team next year or retire.
Right.
Like that was him signing that contract after winning a Super Bowl. They took all their leverage away.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to keep him for another year.
I wasn't misremembering that, right?
Yes.
Like what I said. So that's the thing that, like, because I hear this all the time. Kraft should have stepped in and made Bill keep Brady. That might have run Bill out of town. Like, people forget Kraft sided with Bill in that. And then did he maybe start meddling more after that? And maybe that emboldened him. Well, I gave you the say on Brady, so now I'm going to be more involved. Like, who knows after that? But Kraft and Bill were I don't want to say in lockstep, because I don't know that Kraft was eager to do it, but Kraft deferred to Bill on Brady. So you can't in the same breath blame Kraft for Brady leaving and then say Kraft should have done more of what Bill wanted. It's one or the other.
Interesting.
Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. And I'm not saying one's right or wrong. I'm just the two things contradict each other.
All right. Well, we're late. We gave Danny 7 minutes. Is that good?
It's an interesting conversation.
No, it was.
He really wanted to fight.
Actually, I give him credit. He didn't raise his voice.
Yeah, he did a little bit at the end there.
No, usually it's...
Oh, yeah.
That's why when I raise my voice. Was he trying to get me to... He was baiting me on something.
He really wanted...
He wanted you to dump on Kraft.
Do I not?
Because apparently... Well, so I meant to say that when he brought it. He goes, nobody said... I'm calling out Robert Kraft. Nobody else says...
Does he listen to the night show?
Nobody else... Does he listen to any of the station? Nobody else calling out Robert Kraft?
But you know what? Someone just said that to me. Someone said I turtled to Felger this week, which I don't think I did. And also, I just didn't give an opinion on Kraft. But yet, I guess you guys don't listen. Final hour here. It's brought to us by
Final hour. We are just having some fun with the clock today. Final hour of the Sports Hub here at Barth and Joe Murray is brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Enjoy quick and convenient vehicle maintenance this month. Visit NewEnglandOilChange.com for 15% off your drive-through oil change at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, the official oil change of busy people.
All right. Final hour to go here on the Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray.
He leads Harris English by 4 strokes. English coming up the 17th hole. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by the Lobster Lovers Weekend at the 99. Visit this Friday through Sunday and order their colossal or hot buttered lobster roll, and you'll get a free 3-course meal upgrade. You gotta love the nines. I'm Alex Barth on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 2 o'clock.
New England plays here.
Ball down the right side. There's a separation. Touchdown pass. Yes. Perfect dive from Drake Maye.
98.5 The Sports Hub.
Everybody knows Joe.
Just keeps getting better.
Joe Murray on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
The biggest storyline is that Stefon Diggs is on pace to be available for camp and potentially available for week 1.
Well, he is available for camp. So the question is the level of availability, right? So PUP, you can't even, you can be on the field, but you have to be in like a t-shirt and shorts, right? You can't do anything. You can't do any sort of football activity with the team. You can do rehab, but that's it. Even if not being on PUP, he could still be limited. So last time we saw him in the spring, he still wasn't doing like team drills. He would do the individual wide receiver stuff. That's everything you've seen the videos of. They would go into a walkthrough mode, like the offense against the air. He would do that. But once you got offense, defense, full speed, he was no longer participating. So even to do that level, you can't be on PUP. Now, sometimes guys do that in the spring and then go on PUP in the fall. I believe that's what Kendrick Bourne did last year, if I'm remembering correctly. I might not be. But we're going to see his level of participation. Really, so they start on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Whenever the fourth practice is, usually that Monday when the pads come on. That's going to be the big one. How involved is he once the pads are on? If he is out there running routes against Christian Gonzalez at full speed, at that point you have to imagine he's going to be ready for week 1. Unless he has like a setback, but like he'll be on pace to be ready for week 1. He still might be limited to start, but it's very encouraging that he's at least going to be limited, participating, but limited, but participating to start.
When it comes to wide receivers, I think this impacts Kendrick Bourne's future. I think he obviously has played with McDaniels before. They play almost the same role. I right now see probably Mac Hollins on the outside. I know they want Williams to be there. I see Diggs, Hollins, Douglas.
On a regular basis, he's not going to make the team.
Shouldn't he start the year on Polk?
No, because they probably want him practicing. So, and they have this new thing now where you get 2 players. It used to be to return a guy from IR, he had to make the 53, and then you placed him on IR, right?
Yes,
so they changed it last year. You now get 2 players, and you have to designate them that day that don't have to be on the 53 first. You can designate them for IR, and then they have them return. You have to miss at least 4 weeks. So that, to me, if Polk's shoulder is not right, they could keep him without keeping him on the roster. He's going to have to play catch-up. I think people are sleeping too much on Kendrick Bourne. Now, he is 30, 2 years removed from an ACL. We got to see how he looks physically. But this is a guy that had chemistry with Drake Maye last year, has succeeded in the Josh McDaniels offense, is one of the few veterans in this group. I think he's as stable as anybody in this group. Don't get me wrong. He doesn't have the ceiling that obviously a guy like Diggs or Pop Douglas or even Kyle Williams has. But those guys have kind of significant floors too. Kendrick Bourne's sort of steady. And again, the ceiling's not high. I'm not saying he's going to be your number 1. But I feel good about Kendrick Bourne as like your 3rd or 4th wide receiver. And I think he's going to get, you know what you're going to get out of him. So for me, I think people now look, maybe his knee's just no good anymore. I'm not saying he's a lock to make the team. I think it's him and Booty for the final spot. And then we'll see what happens with Efton Chisholm. I think Polk really has to show a lot this summer in order to make the team. And maybe he ends up on IR and makes the team without making it. And notice we didn't even mention Javon Baker.
Oh, he's done.
Yeah, he's not making the team.
I think he's done now.
Yeah.
They probably will bring him to camp. I think he's...
Oh, no, he'll be with them throughout camp.
I would rather... I'm being serious when I say this. I would rather develop Efton Chisholm.
I'm with you. I think the ideal outcome for Javon Baker for the Patriots, realistically ideal. I mean, the ideal is obviously he becomes great, but like realistically ideal, you get him in the preseason up against some, fourth quarter preseason, up against some guys who are going to be playing in the UFL in Canada. You hope he pops a couple of games, and you get a late round draft pick back for him at roster cuts. That's the ideal situation.
You think you can?
If he goes nuts in the preseason, you might get a pick swap.
Like a Brian Timms type of preseason?
Great. Who is the guy? Brian Timms is a good... Well,
Bam Childress was the one early.
No, the one that they traded for from the Eagles. Greg Salas.
Yeah,
Remember Greg Salas? They gave up a 7th-round pick?
Yep.
Because he had a great preseason. If you can Greg Salas him, and obviously that's not what you want to be doing with a guy you took in the 4th round a year ago. We're being realistic here. If you can Greg Salas him, great. You get a late-round conditional pick.
All right, we'll have more on the Patriots. I want to get your offensive, defensive MVP and some other camp stories. Brendan's in Worcester. Brendan.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Good. Yeah, so there's a Checkers or rallies coming to Worcester. There's an article in Mass Live last month, so I don't know if you guys knew that or not.
No. Okay. What's Checkers?
Apparently it's a Midwest burger chain.
I thought that was
it's supposed to be pretty good. I was curious if you've ever heard of it.
I never have. No. I did go to a Jack in the Box in Dallas, and I wasn't impressed.
The Checkers and rallies.
James is not great.
Yeah. All right, buddy.
Yeah, they got some in New York. It looks like. Yeah, it's another one of these chainy burger places.
The best burger I think.
Those burgers are thin, Joe. I don't know if you'd like that.
Yeah,
those look thin.
The best burger I ever had was R.F. O'Sullivan's. I don't know if it still exists. There was one in Lynn and one in Somerville, but they used to cut the potatoes to make their own fries, and that was like. But
I've been R.F. O'Sullivan's.
I'm talking
about
their burgers though. Oh, those were some fat boys.
The bet. I mean, this is getting obvious. Mister, you've been to Bartley's. You've never been to Bartley's?
Heard all about it.
Oh, that's a big freaking burger.
Do you know what's weird is I'm not really a burger chaser. Like when I go out to eat, I don't want to get a burger because I want to try something different, on a menu.
Well, but this is like a burger place. They're huge burgers, Joe. They're and they're really good. They're really good, but they're also massive.
I love a big burger.
It's in where is it? Harvard Square?
Been to Charlie's.
It is in Cambridge. I forget where in Cambridge. It's right across the street from Harvard.
Okay. Still trying to figure out from Danny's call what I didn't say. What am I afraid to say about Robert Kraft?
He just wanted you to say that Kraft is being mean to Bill, I guess, or something.
Well,
or Kraft deserves no credit. I don't know. He's just mad people aren't dumping on Kraft.
My overall take from the Belichick year was when Bill O'Brien was hired, I called it a suspect move.
That was a Kraft move.
It was a Kraft move. It was reported. You agree? Yeah. I hated the move. I thought it would do nothing for the team, and it didn't. But I also feel as though Kraft meddled. Therefore, I also feel that Belichick sabotaged the team, and with the big leash that he had, he hung himself with it.
Well, it's kind of wild. So they step in. All right, we're going to hire Bill O'Brien, which there was reporting Bill wanted to bring back Patricia. Which,
and just so you know,
that also could not happen.
Yeah, but you know what, though? Mac Jones improved the final 4 games of the year with Patricia.
There were inherent flaws with that it just wasn't going to work.
You're right. Listen, Matt Patricia organizationally could not come back.
No.
But would you agree that there was improvement with Mac Jones the final 4 games?
Very minimally, and I think that might have just been about there was such a cap on what they were doing schematically. Mm-hmm. That was going nowhere. It was going nowhere.
I agree.
So
I just wanted to bring up, though, that there was minimal improvement that Belichick thought could get better.
I think that might have just been playing easier teams, and at that point, the season was kind of a wash.
Not to mention
Pressure
the
was
Bailey
off.
Zappi stuff.
The real issue with O'Brien was
O'Brien couldn't bring in any of his guys.
Right.
Either,
so when you have O'Brien with a bunch of positional coaches that don't know his program and he can't run his program, that makes it very difficult. So that was the issue there. If O'Brien had gotten to bring his own staff, I don't know how differently it would have gotten, but it would have been a little bit better. Which ultimately they ended up with Drake Maye, it going as poorly as it did. So maybe they're better off that way, but you didn't know that at the time.
Camp stories. What's Barth looking for at camp? We'll tell you next here on the Sports Hub.
You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5.
So this week, Alex, I know we're all hyped for camp. What should be some of the expectations this week when it comes to the team drills? And what are just some things we should be looking for? Who's out there, who's not out there? Who should we be looking at, what they're doing and what they're not doing? And how do we even, I guess, analyze the offensive line when it's really the first week of camp?
You don't. I'll start there. You don't. All right. I shouldn't say you don't. Who's out there is still relevant. And I don't think who's out there, how do I phrase this? So Vrabel said back in June, we're really not going to be able to start the offensive line competition until the pads come on. But somebody's got to be the favorite, right? So who's out there at left guard? How many people are they rotating through? That's setting up the competition. That's not the competition, but that's setting up the competition. You also just look at, so if, let's say Mike Onwenu gets beat by Milton Williams on the inside for a swim move and allows a would-be sack. I'm not putting a ton of stake into that for either guy because they're not in pads and Onwenu can't really get his hands on him and things like that. Let's say Milton Williams gets in clean for a sack because Mike Onwenu blocked down when he wasn't supposed to and Milton Williams comes in untouched. Well, that's knowing assignments. You should do that, pads or not. I don't mean to pick on Mike Onwenu. I'm just using him as an example. But outside of that, the offensive line stuff, again, good or bad, I'm really not going to put much stake into until the pads come on. And then that's everything. Once the pads are on, the pads are on. So it's just patience, which I know people aren't going to be with the line. I get that. There's other things we're going to get more instant information on. Drake Maye will certainly be one of them. I think we'll know pretty quickly. He had pretty linear growth, it felt like, in the spring. He goes from that 4 interception practice to starts throwing better, and by the end, he was kind of cruising. Does he pick up where he left off? Is it a slow start again? How comfortable does he look in the offense, the command of the offense, things like that? I think we'll get those questions answered relatively quickly. The offensive line and even the defensive line, I said this earlier in the show, Joe, the run defense is sneaky a big concern for me with this team. Those things are going to have to wait a week or two to get answers on.
So this brings up my question.
Yeah.
Who will be the defensive MVP this year?
Who will be the defense? So MVP, Gonzalez is going to be their best player. It's probably Gonzalez. I know where you're coming from with Robert Spillane.
That's where I'm going. Spillane's my guy. I think he's going to put up monster
So he's going to put up monster numbers. They're going to be able to do everything they want to do defensively because of Christian Gonzalez's presence. If you want to talk about the truly valuable, he's going to be the most valuable player. Robert Spillane's going to fill up the stat sheet, though. Like crazy. Because what people need to understand is, what did we call this last year? X's and Joes? You remember this?
Alex's and Joes.
So the philosophy of the old defense that the Patriots ran, and this is a little oversimplified, but just hang with me here. The philosophy of the Patriots defense the past 2 decades was the defensive linemen kind of act like offensive linemen and clear out the blockers so the linebackers can come downhill and make plays. For the defense, it was all about not blowing contain, not blowing your assignment, don't allow anybody behind you. For the defensive line, it was simply get in the way. Disrupt, don't attack. This new defense that they're running, the philosophy is for the defensive line to be the aggressors, get downhill, create problems. And then the reason they had all this turnover at linebacker is you go from the 250-pound downhill thumper to these guys who are 225, 230, who are now going to flow sideline to sideline, and they become the cleanup crew. So when the defensive line doesn't get home right away, whether it's in the run game, whether it's in the pass rush for a scrambling quarterback, they're going to be the ones that come in and clean it up. So that's where Spillane comes in, putting up these big numbers. He's essentially the cleanup crew in this defensive system. One's not necessarily, and people are thinking, well, that sounds worse, or this or that. Right? It's not, one's not necessarily better than the other. It's simply a different philosophy. It's either one's going to be better if you have the right personnel to fit it. And that's why they had so much defensive turnover this offseason, was having the right personnel to fit that scheme, and it's how well you execute it and how well it's called and all of that.
I have a feeling the Patriots are going to get burned deep with their secondary. Not
really,
so much.
I think their secondary is great.
So I like Carlton
with the
Davis.
caveat.
I like Carlton Davis and Christian Gonzalez.
Yep, I like Marcus Jones.
And I like Marcus Jones. But Pepper's going to be playing up in the box probably a little more.
Well, they don't really have a deep safety again, which concerns me.
Is Pettis the guy, though?
No, it's not Pettis. So it might be Peppers some. I think it's going to be Peppers some because Duggar's better in the box than Peppers.
You think you think so?
Yeah, and that's how they've done it in the past. Pepper's a little more athletic. He can cover a little more ground. He's still ideally a box safety, but if you're going to go one or the other, Jalen Hawkins got a lot of run in that in the spring.
Woodson should get some reps, right?
Craig Woodson will get some run there, but I think he might be more of a tight end stopper. And then Marcus Epps, who they signed from the Raiders, he's fully healthy, he's coming back off a torn ACL.
He played with McDaniels.
Yeah, and he's a true free safety. And they haven't had this guy since McDaniels. But if Duggar and Peppers are healthy, which are ifs, look, Peppers, the legal stuff aside, he was never healthy around that. He was dealing with an injury before he got suspended, and then he was still dealing with an injury when he came back because he got hurt right before he got suspended. Duggar was obviously playing through an ankle injury all last year. He didn't. That's another guy, sneaky notable. He's not on PUP. Duggar didn't participate at all in the spring, and he's not on PUP.
I think he only played last year because the transition tags and some of these other things. That
he got the full contract after that.
He did.
Remember, I think it was pride and he wanted to help Gerard Mayo out. He knew hurt. How much they need him. He should not have been playing. He was hurt. If those two guys are healthy, I think that's one of the best safety duos in the league, and that's with one of the best corner duos in the league. Those two guys being healthy is a legitimate if, because Duggar has struggled to stay healthy throughout his career.
Well, Peppers has
too. That's right.
History of it.
So it's a big if. If those guys are healthy, I really don't have any questions about their secondary. I really don't. I think it's awesome.
Play at all?
I hope so. I liked for everything that coaching staff got wrong last year, and it's a long list. Don't get me wrong. I kind of like the Longhorn package. Getting his athleticism on the field in a day and age where just raw athleticism is being used as much as ever. I don't know that I need to see it a lot. Having that in your back pocket a couple times a year to just have him come screaming downhill at a quarterback. And honestly, in theory, him in that role fits better in this defensive system than the old one. I hope we still see that a little bit. Like more of a gadget thing. I don't need to see it regularly, but as a gadget thing, I'd like to still see that.
Well, I'm rooting for my buddy, Josh Makins Jr.
Yep.
Joined the show this week, played at Louisville and Cincinnati. I believe he's going to start the year on the IL list or the PUP list, whatever they call that now. But I'm rooting for him, and if you'd like to hear the interview that we did this week, we talked about the secondary and Drake Maye's impact. You can check it out on YouTube and at 98.5 The Sports.
Some good Deion Branch stuff in there too, right?
Yeah, Branch, if you remember Branch coached Louisville in a bowl
he's
game?
Still there. He's like their director of something. Or is he their wide receivers coach now?
I think that's what
he had. That's what
Mencken said, yeah.
He had one of those, like, colleges have like the director of culture or whatever.
Yeah. But he won a bowl game. The game was at Fenway. Louisville,
yeah, that's right.
And Menkins was the star player in the game.
Yeah.
So, he talks about the secondary and Peppers and Duggar and all their impact on the team. But somebody asked earlier about Jack Gibbons. Do you think he's going to help out with the Pats, or is he somewhat of a roster bubble guy?
Oh, no, he'll make the team. It's a Vrabel guy, played for him in Tennessee, plays the linebacker the way they want it played. He's just basically, he's going to play a big role in special teams. I think he's Robert Spillane's backup, essentially. And when they go to two linebackers, it might be him and Spillane. I think it'll be him and Spillane at times. It'll be Tavani and Spillane at Tavai. I combined the names. Tavai and Spillane at times. He'll be in the mix, but Spillane's the main guy. And then it will be interesting to see where Marte Mapu mixes in, because they finally moved him back to linebacker. Might be too little too late there, but this is when they drafted him, a lot of people were excited because it was okay. He's that more modern linebacker, and some people thought they were going to move to more of this system and go away from the two-gapping thing, but they just moved him to safety instead and turned him into a box safety, and obviously that didn't work, and he couldn't stay healthy, but this is the system he would be playing linebacker in. Like, he's a linebacker in this system, and if they want that guy that can flow from east to west and can cover and can be the cleanup crew, that's who he was supposed to be coming out of college. That was 3 years ago now. It might be too little too late. He's missed a lot of development time, but I don't think he's going to make the team. but I don't think he's out of the mix either. Like, he's somebody who's more in the mix than you'd maybe expect.
What about Cleveon Chason they got from the Raiders? You think he can make an impact? And then when it comes to rookies, I think Woodson will make the biggest impact as a defensive rookie. But what about Swinson or Farmer or any of these other guys?
To answer that question, I think it's Farmer because, again, I'm concerned about their run defense. This is a guy that was a plus run player at Florida State. And it's weird because he's built like a pass rusher.
He's a different side. I watched him block kicks.
Yeah.
He did a lot. He was a big part of Florida. Florida State struggled offensively. He was a star defender.
He's a good player. And one thing he did in the spring lot, he was getting his hands up and batting down passes.
Exactly. Yeah.
Quite a bit. So, but he's a plus run player, which they don't have a lot of at defensive tackle. They have Kairos Tonga, but he's a purely situational player. That guy's not playing more than 30% of the snaps in the game. There's a potentially huge role for Josh. And look, I like Craig Woodson. There's nothing against Craig Woodson. I think there's a much bigger role for Joshua Farmer to come in and grab than there is, for any of those other defensive rookies. I'm really excited for Joshua Farmer. And then your other question was, what was the other thing you said?
Swinson, Farmer, we talked about that. And
Caleb Von Chason.
Yeah.
He's going to be right in the mix. He's going to be a third down specialist. He's going to step in. Again, it's a different defense, but like in this defensive equivalent, the old Josh Uche role. So it's going to be Harold Landry on opposite Keon White on early downs. And then I think what they'll do on passing downs is they'll kick Keon White inside, and they'll have Chason come on and rush the passer.
I want to ask about the offense as we wrap things up here. Just a quick Red Sox note.
Yeah.
Roman Anthony's out of actually going to be the DH
yeah, he's
tonight.
Sick, right?
Yoshida is playing left field.
Interesting.
All right. Let's put Yoshida in left field with Crochet on the mound, huh?
Good. Good call.
Just, keep your eyes on that one. All right, well, we'll take a quick break. Alex Barth here. I'm Joe Murray, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on The Sports Hub.
couple of minutes here. Matt McCarthy's going to take over. I've been waiting to get this one out of the way for a little bit, but I would just like to let Celtics fans know that Marcus Smart signed with the Lakers. And I would like to let you know that he sucks, he's always sucked, and he's a loser. And now that he's going to the Lakers, he's an even bigger loser. So that's my take.
So as a Marcus Smart fan, this hurts. Is Rajon Rondo a loser?
Sure.
Avery Bradley a loser?
Yeah.
There's been kind of a couple of these guys that went to the Lakers.
I think it was the 41st Celtic ever to play for the Lakers.
I kind of wanted the reunion. I did. I mean, this season's it's the Bridgie Celtics. That's what this year is. Bring him back. Bring Isaiah Thomas back. Just give me the Bridgie Celtics.
Crowder. Crowder is still out there?
Jonas Jerebko can probably still hit a corner three if you need him to.
I think. Oh, in this team?
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. But I just wanted to just say that. You know why? Because has anybody fallen further than Marcus Smart?
He got hurt.
Well, he got traded twice, and they had to dump. How many teams had to dump a first-round pick to get rid of him? You know?
I think just one.
Well, no.
No, the Grizzlies brought him in to, help.
And he stunk.
And he got hurt. And then he stunk. He got hurt.
And then he got traded along with a first-round pick to Washington.
That was a salary dump because his contract was insane. I mean, he was a $74 million contract, I think.
Mm-hmm.
This is the one he signed with the Celtics. This is that extension he signed.
I just saw the Lakers waive Shake Milton now because of Marcus Smart, so you just ruined his life now.
Upgrade. Upgrade. Should have been better.
Well, that was my take. I just think Marcus Smart, loser. Anyways, offense. Who should we be looking at, Alex, as who should we be excited about on offense? I think Kyle Williams is probably a big name. But is there anybody else, like a John Giles or is there like a tight end we should be looking at, like a C.J. Dupree or a Guy Scott?
G. Scott. I mentioned Lan Larison. Brock Lampy is the fullback.
I like Lan Larison.
I like Lan Larison, too. He kind of reminds me of Brandon Bolden. Everybody makes the Rex Burkhead comp. He's a little bigger. The third tight end one's going to be fun. So they've needed a blocking tight end for a while, and that's C.J. Dupree. None of the third tight end candidates, that's Dupree, Jaheim Bell, G. Scott, Jack Westover, none of them really popped in the spring. But with Dupree, he's a blocker, so he didn't really have an opportunity to. You're looking more for a guy like Bell, too, who's a little more quick and agile. So if Dupree comes out and looks like he can really add value as a blocker, he's going to make a roster push.
Okay.
Who else? I mean, Efton Chisholm's not under the radar.
Nope. What about running back? Could a Terrell Jennings?
So I like Terrell Jennings. Terrell Jennings runs hard. Terrell Jennings runs trying to crack helmets. I'm a big fan of his. It's just a crowded room, and I think there's too much talent ahead of him. He'll be here on the practice squad, I would hope. He's a guy you at least keep on the practice squad. He's probably back end of the roster player, but you're going to keep Ramondre Stevenson, Trayvon Henderson, Antonio Gibson. I think Lan Larison gives you more as a pass catcher, and he gives you more special teams upside. That if they're going to keep four backs, I would lean Larison. I like Terrell Jennings, but if they hadn't signed Larison, I'd say there's a case.
How much will we see Thomas Brown working with Drake Maye?
A little bit. So he's also the tight ends coach. So that's going to necessitate some time. I think when you see it'll be interesting because they've never had a passing game coordinator here before. So my guess is when they go into team drills, if you've ever been to training camp for the Patriots, you know how it works. When they go into team drills, Josh McDaniels is right behind the quarterback, and then when the backups are in, usually the starting quarterback's right next to him talking. My guess is when they're in team, Thomas Brown will be a part of that. But when they're in individual stuff, he's going to be with the tight ends. He's the tight ends coach. So he still has to coach his position. You don't want... It was like the year they made Joe Judge the wide receivers coach and the special teams coordinator. But he's doing special team stuff. He couldn't... That was a tough one to double up. Tight end coach and pass game coordinator makes a little more sense. There's more overlap there. But you don't want to neglect, even though there's two veterans at the top of the depth chart in Hunter Henry and Austin Hooper, you don't want to neglect the position, especially since Hooper's on, I forget if he's on PUP or NFI. He's on one of them. I think it's PUP. It is. So you're going to have rookies or young guys, Jaheim Bell, Jack Westover, who are going to get opportunities. And you want to make sure they're being coached up and, you're getting the best view of what those guys can give you so you can really figure out who you want your third tight end to be.
Do you have a chair when you go to camp?
Do I have a chair?
Do you bring a chair?
I don't. So I usually move around. Some people have their chair, they sit down. Some people sit up in that tent for the media. Some people sit on the hill. Andrew Callahan has a really ingenious thing where he takes the folding chairs they give us, puts it like down on its side and uses it as a desk for his laptop. Looks brilliant. I usually move around. I'm standing up. I'll go back in the tent a little bit. No, I don't have a chair because I don't have a spot. I like to be mobile. So chair would not help that.
Should we mention Scotty Scheffler for a second here?
Yeah.
Won again.
Freak. He's unbelievable.
Look at Rory talking about him right now.
Well, Rory probably loves him because Rory's the captain of Team PGA and the whole PGA Live Golf thing, and Scotty could probably
Rory looks happy.
He does look happy. He's talking to the media, so that's rare for him to be talking to the media and looking happy.
I know.
Imagine if Scotty went to Live. What that would do. I'm glad he's not. But, that's got to make Rory happy that he still has the best golfer in the world on his side.
Well, looks like we're going to get ourselves Camp and Happy Gilmore 2 this week.
Do you have any I'll watch it, but my expectations are not high.
I watched Bad Boys 3 recently.
Yeah.
I've watched Coming to America 2. I will watch all sequels.
You know what does? I don't think it's a sequel. I think it's technically a reboot. The new Naked Gun looks good.
Oh, and Pam Anderson in.
Oh, that's right. She's in that.
And Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson, low-key hilarious.
Yeah, I liked him in Ted.
He's good in Ted, and there's a good. We can't give them any details on the air just because of the way that the sketch works. But there's a good improv sketch with him and Ricky Gervais that is hilarious.
All right, Alex, what's your schedule this week?
I will be on Tuesday with you and Zoe, 10 to 2, and then we'll see. Usually camp's kind of a day of thing. I get a text from one of the producers here, hey, can you come on today? So, but we will have recap videos, I believe, me and Zoe, each day after practice. So check those out on the Sports Hub YouTube channel or the audio version, Patriots Hub podcast, wherever you get your podcast.
Jeff Williams, thank you, sir. Hey, it's Stenberg back there. Shout out.
Phillies?
Phillies,
there we go.
The Red Sox are playing them next, I believe. I'm on tomorrow and Tuesday with Zoe and then Alex on Tuesday. And then I believe back at night. I don't know when I'm at night anymore.
I have no more night shows lined up. I know. I appreciate you.
Or Matt's been in more.
Handing it over.
Hi, Matt.
Hi, Joe. Hi, Barth.
Hey.
How you guys doing?
Good.
Glad to hear it.
Alex got a sub on the way in.
It looks like it. How is it?
It's fine. It's not from any of the places we talked about. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
It's from the only place that was open at 9:30 in the morning that I could pick up lunch.
Your thoughts on smash burgers?
In.
But would you rather a regular burger or a smash burger?
No, regular burger, but in on a smash burger.
I think
no disrespect.
I think we've all agreed we prefer a regular burger to it.
Yeah. But we're not out on smash burgers by any means.
No, not out. I mean, could you really be out on any form of burger?
Veggie burger?
Okay, but that's not a burger.
I know.
That's not a burger. Like a steamed hamburger?
Oh, steamed hams?
Yeah.
We talking steamed hams?
We're talking steamed hams. Like I can
Those
do
are in
it.
Albany, there.
I was gonna say Utica.
What do they have? What do they serve you guys at Ithaca?
Garbage.
Yeah, it was
on campus at least.
Off campus, there's some good food.
Great stuff.
Bomber sub, Rogan's.
Oh, I've heard about the bomber sub.
Breaded chicken cutlet, shaved steak, buffalo sauce, and ranch.
Out.
Any lettuce on that?
No, there was some
Thank
cheese.
God.
I didn't get it with cheese. I forget what the cheese was. It's probably just
Big
American.
lettuce guy, Joe.
I know. Going to talk about Scotty today? What?
We'll talk about Scotty. We'll do some golf. How many holes is the right number of holes to play in golf?
12.
13. We'll get into that.
9?
A little bit later on. Plus, I also just found out that the reason Tyler Milliken went to Pittsburgh was to get a Mac Miller bobblehead. He did not really go for the game.
He's a huge Mac Miller fan.
Milliken's a
We
big
talked about
rap
this.
guy.
He waited in line for hours to get this thing.
Yeah, he like has a special thing with Mac Miller, and I don't know what it is. But he has.
It's all news to me.
He
man.
has talked about it before.
All right. I mean, hey, I'm not criticizing the guy. It's more power to him.
I tried to meet Goldberg once, Well, it took over 3 hours, and I said, screw this guy. And then he said, screw us, too.
What would you wait in line for? We're going to get into that here in the program.
Matt McCarthy's got you for the rest of the afternoon. Thanks to Jeff Williams. Excellent job. Alex Barth, check out all his work. 98.5thesportshub.com. I'm Joe Murray. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow at 10 a.m. here on the Sports Hub.
Bye.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. On the way.